Welcome to the Radley College Tennis Court. My name is Ben Gatenbeek. In this series, we're going to go through a number of skills and tactics that will improve your play on the doubles court. I'm going to be joined by the professional from the Oratory School, Henry Henneman. Henry, where are we going to start today?
So we're going to start at the beginning and we're going to look at the serve. So the first serve we're going to go through is the bobble. And the bobble is your generic second serve, but also, which I'm going to speak about a bit about, is great as a first serve too. So the aim of the bobble is to get this ball tight to that back wall. So we don't want our opponents to be able to force a ball that comes off that back wall or attack us on the volley off that shorter serve. So what I'm going to try and do is I'll just pitch that ball fairly deep along that penthouse, aiming for around that hazard second gallery. and we're going to try and get it as high up the penthouse as possible, just next to that side wall.
So how would we look to serve this serve differently on a doubles court than we would on a singles court?
So on a singles court, you need to be very conscious of where you're serving from. So as a fairly young, and I'd like to think pretty fast individual, I'll serve it from a little bit higher up. And that means that I get this angle coming off that penthouse close to that back wall, but I'm still able to get back into a good position around 2 and 3 where I prefer to rest. However, on a doubles court, you've got a partner who can do a lot of the legwork for you. So I'd recommend going for a bit more of this angle, a little bit wider, meaning that you can just drop back in your own line because you don't have to cover that backhand side.
What kind of response would you expect your opponent to play in a doubles match?
So typically, on the shorter bobbles, they will likely attack it on the volley. However, if your length is good enough, they're not going to be able to hit winners past you. Just put a little bit of pressure into this forehand corner. And because you have a player in this backhand side, your backhand is covered, which means you can slightly cheat towards this forehand side. So it shouldn't be the hardest ball to get back. On a longer bobble that goes to the back wall, they have a little bit more room, so can attack the dead on, sometimes attack these galleries. So we want to try and find that perfect length. And if we do, and it's tied to that back wall, a lot of the time you'll actually see your opponents boast that ball out. So hit it hard behind that winning gallery, and the ball's going to end up around where you're stood for that bobble. So that's why you might see Tim and Cam this week at the World Doubles Championship serving a good bobble and just staying here, and there they can take any easy ball on the volley.
So now we've come to the right-hander's backhand corner and we're going to look at the railroad.
Yes.
So Henry, what kind of a railroad are we looking for in a doubles match?
So in a doubles match, we're looking for a few different variations onto this railroad. The first one is just your plain, simple, trying to keep it nice and tight to that battery wall under winning gallery. And the way to do that is to pitch that ball a lot of the time right on the end of this penthouse. So right along the edge, maybe about that hazard first gallery post. But this is very court dependent. If the penthouse is steep, we'll go a little bit higher up that penthouse because it will chuck that ball out a little wider if you go right on the edge. Your spin, however, will counteract that movement and bring the ball back into the sidewall regardless.
So how forgiving can your railroad be in doubles?
It's one you want to get right. If it's loose and on that back wall, because you're aiming for the back wall, you need it to be tight. If it's loose, your opponent can attack with a force towards this dead on and really put the pressure on early in the point. However, you do have 2 players normally back at this stage after this serve. So that means that you've got 1 player to cover the backhand side of the dead on, 1 player will also then cover the forehand and any main wall dead ons.
So that ball that's been struck to the main wall dead on, it's being forced at the main wall low. A lot of the time at the 40-50 handicap level, you see the forehand player try and muscle that back somehow, but you're saying leave that to the backhand player.
We're going to have a look at this in another episode, but going towards that main wall, both players need to be active. Anything going into the dead on off that main wall or something easy that this first player is able to take, the player on the right-hand side will take this ball. But if it's missing the dead on, player on the left actually tends to get more of them, but we'll be on to that later.
So we're back up here at the last gallery, and the last serve we're going to look at today is the high serve. What does the high serve bring to a doubles match?
So the high serve brings a bit of variation, giving your opponent something slightly different to see. And also, it is again, like that first serve we looked at, the bobble, quite restrictive. So off a ball that's dropping onto that penthouse, and then it will get a bit of loft off that roof as well. Your opponent's going to really struggle to generate the pace, equally find an angle to beat the 2 of you on this court.
What kind of variations would you be looking for on a high serve, and is it court dependent?
So it is a lot of the time court dependent. So there are 3 main variations you can do. The first one, which is probably the most common, you see players like Leon Smart doing this well and Tim Chisholm, is the generic, what we'd call a giraffe. So what we'd do is we'd hit it almost like an underarm twist, just with a bit more elevation. So getting it up and onto that penthouse for that ball to come nicely across that back wall.
What's the second variation?
The second variation we're going to look at is very similar to that first one. We're going to take away the spin. And this serve is called the poop serve. And it is a serve that we saw a lot in Chicago because there wasn't a very grippy penthouse. So going for any of this spin is going to be a bit less effective because it won't jump off that roof. So nice and simple, just lofting it onto that penthouse.
And the third variation?
The third, we're going to wrap around this ball, similar almost to that same sidewall action that you have. And this one's the serve that Chris Ronaldson tended to use on his high serves. And the thought process behind it is that it will hold up on that roof, and then you can get another really good angle on that back wall. So you're just wrapping ever so slightly around that outside, and that holds the ball back.
Again, what kind of response are we looking for here?
So a lot of the time, the response will be quite defensive. If you can get that tightness right to that back wall, your opponent will have to back off, and then you'll see lots of balls come back around this battery wall on that server's penthouse, and that ball then will come back into the middle and be quite easy to take. If it's shorter, your opponents might opt to volley that ball and be a bit more aggressive, but if you get that length right, you'll be okay and safe from any danger.
Well, hopefully that has been educational and you'll be able to use those skills next time you're serving in a doubles match. Can you please introduce yourself and what your relationship to the club is?
Yes, I'm Andrew Hamilton. I've played at the club since I was a mere boy in the 1960s, I suppose. And I was chairman of the club from 2001 through to 2019.
Can you tell me a bit about why this court came into being?
Well, I think it was built by an American, Charles Garland, who was immensely wealthy. And the rumour is that he was blackballed by Leamington, which I think has been disproved since. So he built his court here, and he built the real tennis court before he built his large mansion down the road, Moreton Hall. So it's an American court, you could say.
What was the involvement of Joseph Bickley?
Well, I presume Charles Garland took him on board and paid him for turning this into one of the greatest courts in the world.
So recently you've undertook a project to restore the floor. What was the decision making that led to taking the decision to do that restoration?
Well, the floor was getting into a very poor state. Lots of cracks in it, and it was a bit of a health hazard. So we felt it was time to do something about it. And in 2021, during 2020, I think, during COVID, we decided it was time to do something about it.
How did you go about ensuring that the floor retained its original playing characteristics?
Well, the committee member Bruce Paxton, who was involved in it, did an incredible amount of work. For example, out in the garden here, he had a series of sort of test beds to check the sort of bounce and the speed and so on, which was tremendous. So there's a lot of work that went into that. And what we have now is something that is very similar to what Charles Garland and Joseph Bickley came up with.
What was the feeling like when the first jackhammer went into the old floor?
Well, I turned up one day and found that the entire hazard end was complete rubble, just a load of sort of bricks and so on. I thought, oh my goodness, what have we done? But I needn't have worried, because Bruce had done a fantastic job, and so did the contractors. And what we've got now is a surface that is probably as good, if not better, than the original.
What was the construction process of building the new floor?
Well, obviously, the original had to be removed, and you're asking me something that I technically can't really answer, but it was a most impressive performance, starting off with laying the concrete underneath, and then the top above it.
What was the response like from the members at the time?
Well, I think they were keen that something should be done, and I suppose like us, like the committee, slightly worried about what would happen, but the end result was well worth all the efforts and the concern.
How has it been reviewed by some of the pros and the players?
Well, Rob and Claire Fahey came and played it right at the start and were quite impressed. But since then, many people who've come to play here are very complimentary about the surface.
How has it played in over time?
Well, early on, I felt it seemed to come off the walls at quite an angle, and I'm not quite sure why, but that's just sort of moderated over time, and it really is very similar to what I remember in the 1960s.
How are the pros and the players of this World Championship going to find it?
I think they'll be very impressed, because it's a very, very good, true bounce and a nice pace to it, and it should suit the best players in the world.
Are you proud that Moreton can put on an event like this?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, here we are in the middle of nowhere, and we're hosting one of the top competitions in real tennis, which is a dream come true for those of us who've been involved with the club over the years.
All right, thank you very much for your time, and hope you enjoy the tennis.
I intend to. All right, Rob, Nick, you're back again. What's brought you out this time?
Out of retirement, you mean?
Yeah.
You can't say no to a good World Championship doubles, so excited to be here.
How's the preparation gone into this one? Has it been particularly focused, or?
More so than previously. I've basically personally never practiced for a doubles event in my life, but have actually done a bit of prep for this one in a specialised role. So looking forward to seeing if that's paid off at all.
Can you give a bit of a hint of what that might look like?
I think as a pair, we're going to split and have me more playing the galleries and Nikki playing the back. So I've been practicing some volleying.
Nick, you've come off a pretty good season on the doubles court. Can you reflect on your achievements in Paris and in Melbourne?
Yeah, I got to play with Steve in both of those, and Steve's a brilliant doubles player, and learn a lot off him. And learned that where I'm quite effective in doubles and less effective, was picked up a lot of key points from those matches, and got back in touch with Rob, getting ready for World Doubles, saying I think for us to have the most success might be trying to play this role where Rob's sort of underselling his role. He has the biggest role. Like, I think I'm just going to try and keep getting the ball back, play my corner, and with his brilliant hands, and if he can pull some of those shots off, and shots that would be that, you know, are winners, where for me in those positions I'm not always putting it away as well. I think we could be quite effective in that way.
Playing here at Moreton Morrell, what has your experience been of the club in the past?
Very limited. I think I was trying to figure it out from some of the history posters around the club. I think we had a tournament here in 2005 celebrating the centenary. We definitely had a tournament here. I just don't know if that was the right year. And that's the only time I've had a competitive situation here. Visited the club quite a few times over the years. Beautiful place, great place to be. I think we're quite lucky to be here. How
are you finding the court and the conditions?
Well, first hit was yesterday, so I have zero experience here, but I have visited when I was younger, and I realised my dad was the second ever professional here, which is quite cool. I see the banner behind you there, Ben. Actually, it rewards quite well for good cut shots, quite quick off the wall. So hopefully, some of our weapons, might be better rewarded on this court than other courts.
What kind of a play style is it going to particularly, what kind of shots are going to give reward here?
I think, depending on what you're comparing it to, obviously, but somewhere like Queens, where I think you get these long aerial rallies, I think there could be a bit more benefit to, playing some proper cut shots. And I don't like to use the word traditional, but yeah, what would be considered some more traditional play could be quite effective here.
Are you expecting much of a home crowd support, Rob? You're only one of two British-based pros in the draw.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully Bryn and I are on the end of a bit of local cheering, and we're only an hour down the road, so know some of the members up here, so hopefully they turn out in force and give everybody else a hard time.
Your opponents, Steve and John, you've played them in the last two editions in the semi-finals and lost each time. What have you taken out of each of those matches that you're going to potentially apply to this week?
Well, the last two world doubles.
Yeah.
Well, the first one's hard to really judge because I pulled my hamstring early on in the first set when we were going quite well, and we're trying to figure out how to hide me, which didn't work successfully. But at Chicago, yeah, John and Steve were just super solid, and it's trying to figure a way to stay patient out there and hopefully let our weapons reward us. Trying to not always power through in certain positions because they're so good at coming up, and trying to think of different shots. It's like maybe slowing it down at times with some added pace. Might have some success, but they're the favourites maybe for the tournament. Let's be honest, they won the US Open doubles, so it's fun to go in as underdogs.
Do you relish that position as the underdog? Does it give you a bit of fire up?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully it fires up my partner. There's no one better at playing as an underdog than Rob, and if he can pull off some magic and I can be there to support as a supporting act on the side, you never know.
What do you see from the other semi-final?
Another great match, right? Again, they had a super close match recently, and I think Bryn and Ben could have potentially won that had they it's quite difficult to finally beat someone when you haven't beaten them in the past. You kind of get right to the line and then you think, oh my gosh, we've never done this before. So they've got that in the bank now. And so I think if they get themselves into another good position, they'll have the confidence to kind of go on and win. But you've got to say, anytime Cam's out there, he's still, him and his partner, Tim in this case, obviously are still red hot favourites.
All right, Rob, Nick, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, so John Lumley, Steve Virgona, welcome to Moreton Morrell. How have you found the court so far?
What do you think?
Yeah, it seems pretty playable. They've done a great job when they redid the floor a couple of years ago. So yeah, pretty smooth and pretty true. So far so good.
How do you think that playing on a court that we don't normally see as part of the rotation is going to affect how things pan out this week?
I think it's going to be pretty interesting, no one sort of having any real info or experience on the court. Obviously they redid the floor, so it's going to be great, I think.
Steve, I think you've played here once about 20 years ago.
Long time ago.
Is it bringing back memories, or is it just a completely new experience again?
Yeah, it's feeling familiar in terms of being around the club and being back on the court, but in terms of the results and how the points went, yeah, it's just too long ago.
So how do you feel like the two of you have developed as a doubles partnership? Because we saw you kind of building and challenging more and more Steve and Cam and Tim. How has that dynamic between you developed over the last few years?
I think just sort of more time on court together, getting comfortable, sort of getting our game plan going, and what's his, what's mine, and just sort of being in that sort of flow state and not, when you play with someone for so many sort of hours, it just becomes natural. So I think just getting more in that sort of feel personally, but
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just been steady, slow improvement. I feel like each match that we've played, and I think the results have showed that.
So going back 2 years ago, you played the US Open doubles in Philadelphia. You took Tim and Cam to 5 sets on that occasion. Almost got over the line, but not quite. What was the feeling after that particular match?
I was pretty fired up and upset that we didn't get across the line. Because we were so close, and it was in Philly, and the crowd was awesome behind us, and that definitely sort of kept the fuel going.
And then to take them down this year in Chicago, what was the preparation that led into that, and what was the things that helped you get across the line there?
It was really just focusing on the previous matches, taking a look and seeing what worked and what didn't, and then just trying to sort of make those improvements from there.
Steve, you've had a pretty incredible season on the doubles court, 3 out of 3 out of the Opens that you've challenged for. What is it about playing doubles that fires you up so much?
Whether it's singles or doubles, I'm out there playing tennis, I'm always going to be fired up, but I feel like I've just gotten a little bit better this season on the doubles side of things, in terms of knowing my opponents and their tendencies and strengths and weaknesses. So I've tried to improve in that aspect.
How does the left-hand, right-hand combination work? I mean, all but one of the World Doubles Championships have been won by a left-hand, right-hand.
Is it all but one?
All but one, all but the very first one.
Okay, interesting. I think just having that that forehand under a grill, and like it's just so aggressive. They can hit shots differently than the righties, and it's just having 2 forehands in each corner is huge.
And just when you're hitting the ball from someone, if they're left-handed, it's going to come across a little bit differently with the spin and the speed and how it moves. So just that slight variation, I think, is beneficial.
So in your first match, playing against Nick and Rob, it's a match that you've played in the last 2 editions of this tournament in the same draw setup. What lessons will you have learnt from the previous editions in Bordeaux and Chicago that you can bring to this?
I think sort of we've gone back and watched some.
When their usual firepower, great returns of serves, very strong on the volley, and very, very strong serving as well. So I think it's going to be a close match. What
is going to be the key thing that gets you over the line, do you reckon?
I think we're going to try and come out firing it quick and get some momentum going, and obviously keeping it down, hitting our targets, and sort of being positive.
Well, best of luck to the both of you through the week ahead, and hope it all goes well.
Thanks, Ben.
Right, thanks, Ben.
That's Rob Fahey. Rob Fahey.
Yeah, who was world champion.
Yes, yes, for... I've lost count. Yes, yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Tony, stop talking to people. Right, let's kick off. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Moreton Morrell Tennis Court Club for the World Doubles Championship. My name is Simon Hobson. I'm Championship Chairman, outgoing Chairman of the club, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to what we believe is the nicest court in the world, but then I'm slightly biased. I hope you've enjoyed the fizz provided by Mark Savage of Savage Wines. Thank you very much, Mark. And we'd like to welcome friends old and new to this event. It's lovely to see many old friends and new faces here. And especially we'd like to welcome Pragnell, who are our sponsors for the event. And we are enormously pleased to have started a relationship with Pragnell, local company with similar values of heritage, precision and craftsmanship that align very much with what happens on a real tennis court. So thank you very much, Pragnell. Months of preparation and fruition have come to fruition with this event, and I'll thank everybody who is involved at the end of the tournament when it's all gone so swimmingly, smoothly. But it's been made possible by the fact that our return to the world stage has been made possible by the fact that we have Bickley 2.0 floor, masterminded by Sir Andrew Hamilton and Bruce Paxton 5 years ago, and we now have made this the court that it once was and is now once again. So we are enormously pleased to return to the world stage and to enjoy this fabulous court as it should be. We're excited for the next few days. I'm sure you're all very excited as well. I'm particularly excited because I got through the rounds for the Pragnell Cup, so I'm playing at 8:30 on Saturday morning. But more seriously, we are excited because we have the best players in the world. We have arguably the most exciting form of the game, doubles, and we have the best court in the world. So it doesn't get any better than this. So to start proceedings, I'd like to hand over to our President, Lord Willoughby de Brooke, to say a few words.
Well, Simon has asked you to say a few words, and there will be just a very, very few words, because what you want to see is tennis, not somebody making a speech. But I'm just so pleased as Americans here today, because this court was built by an American, Charles Garland, who was an Anglophile. He served in the British Army in the First War and built this court. He loved it so much, built the court and built Moreton Hall, the house. He was an Anglophile, but he lived here, and unlike the Donald, he spent a lot more time here. I just noticed that in the marker's box there's something warning about strong language, and I feel that that warning should have been outside the court, saying, "Warning, you may hear strong language in this court right from the fucking start." But I'm sure we won't hear that. I hope the players will enjoy this court. I'm sure they will. It's probably, in our opinion, the best court in the world. And we're much looking forward to seeing the world's top players battling it out. So thank you for coming. Enjoy the tennis. We will as well. Thank you very much.
Let the play begin.
So here we are now on court at Moreton Morrell. We see Mr. Lumley at the net starting to do his side-to-side warm-up. We've just had the opening ceremony. You see the glorious trophy that the players are working towards there on court. So a huge amount of work goes into the planning of a World Doubles Championship. So big thanks to all of the members, sponsors and organisers here at Moreton Morrell glorious to have the World Doubles Championship back in the UK again. As mentioned, there's a couple of UK-based pros. We've got Rob Fahey, obviously hailing from Australia, but based down in Oratory. We've got Bryn Sayers, the professional from Queen's Club. The other players have all come from around the world, from Philadelphia, from Australia, from all around the world to come and compete in the Premier Doubles Tournament in real tennis. So I'm Bendit Yorston, and joining me in the commentary booth for this first set is Robert Schenkman, the world number 7.
In singles, just the 10 in doubles. But yeah, going to be great. I was just saying hi to a few people in the side galleries there. Fantastic attendance actually for this day one, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Great camera work as well. We're really getting a sense of what is going on here. So Mr. Neil McKenzie is doing the coin toss.
The world number ranked marker in the world, I believe.
He's number 1, isn't he?
Number 1.
Best marker, got the respect of the players. But yeah, so as the players do the coin toss.
So of course John lining up with a different doubles partner to the last time he was playing in a UK tournament, when he partnered up very successfully with Vaughan Hamilton in the British Open after Steve sustained a wrist injury. But going back to a partnership that dates all the way back to 2012, in fact, I believe, was the first time these two played at the French when John was just a teenager. Obviously Steve winning multiple world championships in doubles with Mr. Fay the other side of the net, but clearly saw the up-and-coming talent of John Lumley at a young age, and quite successful sport, I'd say, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, shame that Vaughan didn't get the call-up for this, but Steve and John, formidable force, and here they are warming up, so lots of different camera angles.
Over 30, I believe, Mr. Gatenbeek was saying earlier, so we have got everything covered. You will not miss a grill, a winning gallery, or a hazard chase today.
Absolutely.
So we can see here an inversion of the seeds from the last Doubles World Championship, when Rob and Nick were number 2 and John and Steve were number 3. It was the underdogs that won on that occasion, so John and Steve taking their place as the second best doubles pairing in the world. It'll be interesting to see whether this one goes the way of the seeding, or whether Nick and Rob can cause, I don't think it'd be a major upset, but on paper it would still be a little bit of an upset if the 3 seeds take out the number 2s. What's your score prediction here, Rob?
I just think the quality of the players is so high that nothing would really surprise me, to be honest. I think all these guys are capable of pure brilliance on their day. And yeah, doubles is attritional, as we were kind of saying in the pre-game show. Nothing's that clear-cut. Everything's a bit of a grind. So yeah, expect lots of long rallies, lots of great retrieving, and lots of powerful volleys.
Do you think all the players are going to be pretty even on day 1 and 2, or do you think that the kind of as the matches go on, there's either pair that's going to be favoured by the kind of extension of the match and their fitness levels?
I think we'll probably talk about Stevie right now with his profile on the screen. So obviously 47 years young, the world number 4 at doubles, multiple open winner at doubles wise, and many times a world doubles winner with Mr. Fay, operating out of Chicago Racket Club, where we just were for the US Open. Shout out to any of you guys watching from Chicago. I know there's a couple of members here, Jonathan Lewis and Andrew Fritz. But yeah, formidable. Look at all those doubles titles. Absolutely fantastic record. And yeah, one of the greats of the game on the doubles court.
Lucky.
John Lumley, age 33, number 2 ranked doubles player, operating out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And yeah, he's won a fair few opens himself. He was not World Doubles Champion in 2022, but the rest of them, he's obviously done the Grand Slam in doubles now, which is fantastic.
Did have a great year in 2022 then, taking 3 of the 4 doubles,
sure,
double open titles.
Recent matches, so yeah, they obviously didn't play a semi-final in the US Open with Mr. Howell having to pull out injured, but yeah, defeating Cam and Tim in that very close 4-setter.
Yeah, I think that's a match that clearly sets the tone for this week, because coming into it, you sort of had the somewhat imperious doubles pairing of Camden and Tim that had been undefeated for so long, but I think that adds a different flavour to proceedings. All 4 pairs are going to be coming into this week with a real belief that they can be the ones to walk away with the trophy. And that match is going to have really cemented that in all of their minds.
For sure, and obviously they got 2 sets in the final last time out. Yeah, this is a different event, different country, and that's kind of what makes the World Doubles Championship so exciting. Rotates around all the countries, and yeah, good to see a major championship at Moreton Morrell. So there we go, Mr. Fay, the GOAT. 57 years of age, doubles world ranking at 7, doubles handicap minus 2.4, which seems rather harsh. You know, if I don't mind me saying, if I say so myself. But yeah, one of the great players. I think he's got a special little racket there. I think that's a 50. It says 50 on it. For his so Claire might have had
Claire's
some made.
50 Opens, perhaps.
Claire's 50 Opens, yeah. Agreed.
50 years. Could be either.
True. Look at all of those doubles titles running off the edge of the screen. He's won that many.
Ben has had to stretch the highlights reel to try and fit on all of Rob's Opens. A lot of Aussie Opens.
Also going back even into the 90s as well. Nicky, 39, playing out of Aiken, South Carolina, with his compression socks on his calves, which is interesting. Obviously Nick's calf status is going to be a talking point, because obviously he had to pull out of the tournament in Chicago with an injury. But yeah, he's also done he's not quite done the doubles Grand Slam, not won a US Open yet, lost in 4 finals. Anyway, I think the players are nearly ready. Who's going to serve first, who's going to receive first? Looks like Nick and Rob are serving now. So quite an extended warm-up for these guys. I think they get a fair amount of time to warm up.
So we see here the record in the head-to-head. John and Steve, the number 2 seeds, winning 3-0 against the pair at the other end, all in very high-profile matches, very high-stakes matches. 2 World Championship semi-finals and then US Open semi-final. A year ago, a rematch not taking place this year due to Nick's injury. First time at Moreton Morrell, though.
Interesting that Rob and Nick have never beaten John and Steve. But there's always been kind of, well, I mean, 5 Love, I mean, as Nick said, he was injured for that match in Bordeaux. So Darren is the referee, I think, in the dead-on. So Darren will be keeping score and perhaps calling faults, I'm not entirely sure.
Speaking of, keeping a watchful eye. Also went out to the US Open this year to be one of the primary markers for the latter stages of that tournament out there in preparation for this World Championship. Could be ducking out the way of a few forces today.
Big week for Darren, obviously his head pro at Moreton. He's going to have his hands full, organising, coordinating, marking, being the general point of contact for all these spectators, players. A lot on his plate, and yeah, huge week in his career. I'm sure he's immensely proud. Anyone in the live chat, Mr. Yorston?
Had a few comments, some suggestions about the backdrop to future player interviews, but there was, of course, advertising of the
Valor Scott Geddes, Rackets Pro at Rugby, tuning in, Chris Vigrass. Yeah, why have a laundry rail? I agree, but it's all about the chat, isn't it, Chris? I mean, treat it as a podcast. And then, what was that last comment? Oh,
Lady
Lady Chiswick. Wow. The greatest influencer we've ever seen.
Do check out Lady Chiswick on Instagram and TikTok for some excellent real tennis video content. There's a lot of Rob Shankman beating me on there.
Yeah, there is. Anyway,
Chris
this is a
tuning in from Prested Hall.
This is a pretty long warm-up. Should we kick this off? I mean, they've literally had like 2 full baskets from either end. I mean, what are the World Championship protocols here? Because, I mean, the spectators are baying for blood. They want to see some action.
It is a long warm-up. These players, as we've said, not playing competitively on this court for a long time, if at all. So I suspect they're all hoping to get used to the court. But tracksuit's very much still on at the moment, so still a little bit of knocking up to do. As we see, very aesthetic Pragnell sign in the grille, the lead sponsors for this World Doubles.
Just a shout out to Genty and all the gang at Jeu de Paume Paris, Rue Lauriston, who are tuning in watching this. Hey guys, looking forward to seeing you all in May for the Bathurst Cup. Mikey Hennessy, let's go Team Archery. Mikey, I cannot believe you're not here. Like, of all the events to miss, you missed the World Doubles. I mean, I assume you're coming later.
Team Archery, of course, being Rob and Claire, leading the club over there, with Henry Hemman, who you spotted on screen earlier, giving us a little doubles tactical session.
I mean, I'm surprised he's not here either.
Someone's got to run the archery.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so right, Mr. McKenzie's going to kick it off.
We've had time called. The extended warm-up comes to an end. The players are looking ready. Nicky unzips his tracksuit top. He's getting fired up.
Yeah, I mean, that warm-up was enormous. I mean, they'll be seeing like a football after that. I'd be borderline tired after that. Interesting. I mean, something we talked about kind of in the build-up was what the players are going to serve. I wonder what they've been working on in practice. So yeah, lots of unanswered questions. I think real tennis is one of those puzzles, isn't it? There's going to be questions asked on this first day.
It's tennis plus squash plus chess.
No quantum physics, eh? Tim Edwards taking a photo, one of the great supporters of our game, one of the great photographers, great artists. So interestingly, the players have got their own locker rooms, so they've kind of separated out the normal men's locker room and I think the ladies' locker room. I think they've swapped them both so that they've got separate changing rooms. So the whole club has basically been changed for this World Doubles. Fantastic to see. I think that's quite cool, isn't it?
Absolutely, elite setup for the elite players. You know, they're all going to really be focusing on their mental side of the game as well as the physical. So they'll all want to get into the zone. They won't want to have to worry about the opposition nicking their rackets by accident. So they'll all be getting into the frame of mind. As we see Neil McKenzie getting into the frame of mind as a marker.
Yeah.
As you say, Darren's going to be in the dead on, so might be lending some assistance on the fault calls on the penthouse in particular, which can always be hard to judge when you're marking from the net.
Quite a lot of light, isn't there, in the dead on? So like you can kind of see all the way to the back, which is unusual. Normally you have that kind of area blacked out, but
you see all the way to the back. It's a deeper dead on, which is great for spectating. They can fit more people in there. You haven't got the sort of elevated glass viewing areas that you do at some of the slightly more modern courts, so it's great to be able to fit in as many people as possible. The tickets were keenly contested and lots sold out very quickly, I'm sure. So good to see a good spectator team in the dead on, but as you say, a little bit of light that spills through could occasionally cause a few issues from the receiving end.
So please wait until the point is finished. At the receivers end, to introduce the players, we have the number 2 seeds for the Racket Club of Chicago and the Racket Club of Philadelphia, Steve Virgona and John Lumley. On the service side, the number 3 seeds from the Oratory and the Aiken Real Tennis Club, we have Rob Fahey and Nick Howell. It's a best of 9-set match. Today we'll be playing the first 4. First set, Lovell.
Not going railroad. Oh, they're discussing it now. So John's going to return first. Interesting. Of course he is. Big Rob Fahey railroad to start.
Target. 15, love.
Rob nearly serving that bobble onto the back penthouse. Bit of nerves.
Thought we were potentially going to get a double fault for the first point of the doubles championship, which would have been a bit of a shame.
all.
He's quite a shallow penthouse here, so you will get those bubbles really running on long. I want to see what Rob's serving. It sounded like a kind of really heavy, slow 2-bounce railroad.
$30-15.
He's almost got too much spin on that one. It's kind of hit the sidewall, come back out, giving John the space to attack it.
That's tight.
They got unlucky there, but the serve was much more
40-15.
Came just angling right along the line of that sidewall. Gave John not much room. He just had to kind of squeeze something back down the line.
30-40.
In this first game, he's been dead on. A couple of racket errors as well. Needed a bit more warm up, I think.
Hazard J's second gallery.
Yeah, I think just all the players kind of feeling each other out at this point. Yeah, looking pretty scrappy. I think doubles is one of them where you've really got to warm into it. It's going to be different angles. There's no real rhythm to start with.
Do you think John and Steve would have come into it with a proactive decision to try and line up John against Rob, or do you think that they're just chosen that as John received first and regardless of who's serving?
I think John first, yeah, I think that's what they'll have gone with, because I would
40-30 service lead.
Nick's
Hazard chase the second gallery. Hazard.
But maybe it's just that Steve's having Nick's serve. I don't know. We'll ask him after. Ooh.
Juice.
Good heat from Rob. John will be disappointed there. Error from Steve.
Advantage receivers.
Had a chance to get the dead on down penthouse. Good doubles.
Advantage, receivers.
Nice return from Rob.
That is the first game. 1 game to love.
Those new world championship balls, I really think they're skipping through. I think kind of, obviously the players hit with them in practice, but when you're in the heat of the moment, blood's flowing. It's going to be a challenge these first couple of games.
$15 love.
Wow. Clean ace.
A rare clean ace early on in the
That is
first serve from
an amazing serve. Chase the line.
Chase the line.
It was obviously an interesting serve that you can't really do too much of in singles because he's right
15
up at the second gallery line. So to try and cover the forehand corner would be almost impossible for him in a singles game. So that is where doubles can open up a few more possibilities.
Steve's called John off that one. Patient stuff from Rob and Nick working John, but sometimes what happens? John just too good.
Chase, worse than 3 to Chases.
Wow. It's just rolled.
Nick stepping in and volleying that Steve railroad. Clearly doesn't want to leave too many more to the back wall if they're going to hit the nick and die like the first one did. We see there again. Perfect length. There we go, now stepping and volleying it. Not giving it a chance to die off the bat.
Shows it kind of that slow one that Rob was just putting down the line. Actually quite receptive on here. Obviously, the slower the ball is, the more time it's got in the air, the more revolutions it's actually going to pick up. Like in spin bowling in cricket, the one that's tossed up actually turns
love. Receivers
lead. Think that in real tennis.
Chase
That's why it's
the
always
line.
sometimes
Chase the line.
Well, the slightly floaty one that sort of lands first bounce at half a yard that rolls is such a tricky one to deal with and judge when to take it.
That's good.
It's a good serve.
40 love.
Steve.
Chase worse than 3.
You get that ball at Queens, there's no way that's rolling out. You'd always make that because the floor's so slow. Here, because it's so quick, it's an outright winner. Unsurprised to see Nick going railroad to Steve.
Lost it for better than 5.
Again, Rob and Nick will want to minimise the threat of Steve turning, so that railroad is a good way,
40.
for anyone watching at home, a good way of keeping Steve penned in on his backhand. And 1 game all.
This game, 1 game all, 1-all.
Oh, wow.
Well, there is that benefit of being a lefty. You can swing
love.
straight through a ball going towards the grill corner. Main wall boast, past Nicky into dead on.
Yeah, that's just too good. Fantastic shot from Steve.
Steve's second dead another day. We're only in the third game.
Bit of tactical discussion here from Rob and Nick. Again there, Steve running up in front of the timber, Rob hitting it over his right shoulder rather than his left, which is his forehand, which would be the natural kind of volley. Ooh, that's a good point. Really good defence from Nick.
30-15.
John taking quite an aggressive role here, Ben.
Yeah, indeed, he's stepping in. He's trying to ping main walls off the return. He's certainly not trying to play a retrieving game.
I think that's probably the natural response to a railroad, isn't it? I think if the ball's there, you've got to take it on.
Can't take it sort of down the line in doubles quite the same way as singles. And you've got Rob waiting there, ready to pounce.
Definitely not.
Wow. Really mixed up between Rob and Nick there. Who's going to take that ball? Nick stepping in just in time.
30 all.
Nails it under the winning gallery. Draws the racket error from John. So 30 all here.
Wrong side.
40,
John going slightly
30.
deeper on the main wall there. Very difficult for Nick to boast that one back. Good tennis.
So we've seen some, as you say, pretty heavy railroads from Rob that are coming quite long up the court. John electing to main wall boast most of them. Are you thinking about leaving that for a hazard if it is going to drop into the hazards, or do you think you just keep taking it on?
I think certainly if it's tight. I think if you can't get a good swing at one and can't crack a main wall or a force accurately, I think leaving the hazards is definitely a good play, especially at a key point like 30 all. I think it's been interesting how Rob has always opted for kind of high back wall, forcing John to force. I think that's probably the plan. They want Nick to face John forcing rather than a cut volley, which obviously is a little bit more of a lottery with the floor being that much slicker and quicker. So yeah, always kind of a game within a game when it comes to doubles at this level.
With the new balls, it's a bit easier to read a main wall than a cut volley as well.
Oh wow. Wow, that's a pulsating point from John and Steve. I'm surprised Steve didn't try and hit the hazards. Opting for a very hard grill, but good retrieval from Rob and Nick. Yeah, the players are finding their groove.
Here's the second gallery. No stroke.
Even if you're right up there, sometimes that ball comes too quick. Safer to leave it for a chase rather than give it the point. Whoa, is that in? Has that gone bando in?
Good cabas, I think. Bando in. Don't see those very often.
I think that's gone penthouse ball bounced down again. There's that much grip off the penthouse. Wow. Most places that would have just skipped onto the back roof.
Not an element of luck in that one. Nick has just nailed that.
People watching at home, that is an incredibly difficult shot. He's hit that from ankle height, main wall dead on. That is remarkable.
Jay's better than second.
Certainly feeling like he's seeing the ball well now, because I mean that rally, almost every ball he was swinging at as hard as he could off the timber with a backhand drive, a couple of forces, main walls and straight at the dead on. He's not going to play timidly.
Interesting that, wasn't it? Because Rob was pretty content just to push the ball back to John. John's gone kind of high timbre, and Nick's got half a swing at one and immediately able to kind of force Steve into a loose ball. And I think that if John and Steve are going to keep this lead up, they're going to have to
First chase is the second gallery. Second gallery.
Both elite finishers of a real tennis ball. Ooh, wow, good railroad.
40 love, chase better than the second gallery.
Oh, just the wrong side.
15-40.
I think John and Steve will be looking for a chase here.
So a switcheroo there.
Game service.
Switch over to get Steve defending the tower
Two
with his left
games
hand.
all.
As we heard a little bit earlier, only one right-handed pair ever win the World Doubles Championship. Way back in the very first edition.
Oh, it's in. Just dipped in.
15
Were you
love.
even born then in 01?
2000, Millennium baby.
Oh, well, you probably watched it, didn't you? Snowy and Chisholm winning. There you go.
Saw Julian Snow play and went, that's what I'm going to do. Run around and chip it.
2-all, 15 love.
A little bit short from Rob there. I think
30
further
love.
up in the penthouse.
Yeah, probably he won't be too happy with that, but I mean, I think the objective is to get that first serve in. I think he wants the railroad in.
Yeah, for sure.
Two backhand volley errors from Nick.
40
in that game.
love.
That was exactly the serve that you're saying that he wants there. He's got the railroad,
Yeah.
he's got it cutting back towards the sideball, but not so much. That
I
then
think
gives it on the
sometimes you can criticise a second serve, but ultimately get your first serve in, don't have to worry about it. Three errors in this game. Not sure Rob's helped him out a great deal there with some of that serving.
It's interesting because managing to keep the ball off the penthouse a bit more in that game, because that's where they were looking under pressure at the receiving end, but from those slightly weaker serves, they could get into the rally, get the errors early.
Great play, great play.
Chase the first gallery.
Lovely
Great bit of anticipation from Steve there. The ball going
First gallery
into
level.
the gallery, stepped across, volleyed it out.
Ooh. Oh. What a rally this is. That's loose. John won't be too happy with that. Loose ball, but great rally. I mean, seeing some of the positions Rob was taking up there up at last gallery.
Nearly got killed by his doubles partner.
Wow.
Got out of the way.
Great point.
A great read there from
30 love.
See how well they know each other's games. Nick knows that he's leaving that, the one that's going low, under dead on. Rob sweeps it up.
Yeah, it's a key part of doubles, isn't it? Having that composure to trust your partner, because it's obviously a really easy ball for Rob.
It's pretty finely poised here. Change of ends at 3-2 to the number 2 seeds, but it's 40 love to Rob and Nick, so good chance to get back to parity and 3-all here. Let us know where you're watching from. We've got Jane Taylor saying hi, Shanks and Ben from Petworth. Great to see you tuning in, Jane. Let us know who your money is on for this game. Who do you think is going to take the most sets on day one of this first semi-final?
Maybe no one will. Maybe it'll be 2-all.
Maybe it'll be 2-all. Could be completely even.
Wouldn't that be something?
40 love receivers.
Very nice
Chase the first gallery. First gallery.
Remember that they'll be playing 4 sets today of these best of 9 doubles matches.
So we've had a 40 love game followed by a 40
3
love
games
game.
all. 3-all.
A couple of errors from John.
Swings of momentum. Interestingly, both won from the receiving end.
Yeah, very interesting.
Chase, worse than the last gallery.
Interesting that. I think the walls here kind of suck a bit of pace out. I mean, Rob's hit that pretty hard, just worse than the last.
Hazard. Worse
I
than
think
one,
it's fun
2
that we've
chases.
seen sort of 2 winners from Rob. One to get a chase, one to get a point from service end, with shots that you wouldn't really see him play in a singles game.
Agreed.
The drive to go over Steve's right shoulder, as you said, which would be pretty much where a singles player would probably. World double champion from a historic jewellery company in the UK.
No stroke. The first chase is worse than the last gallery. Worse than last.
So finally poised here. 3 games all. Who's going to take the crucial 7th?
Playing from the hazard end seems to be slightly easier as it stands. What a rally this is. Oh. What a point. What a point.
That was ridiculous hands from John and Nick in quick succession. John off the wall by the wing.
Yeah, that half volley
off the main wall. Out 2 outrageous shots in a row.
Hazard worse than 1.
Absolute
Hazard.
joke. Ooh, great play.
And we talked about it just a short while ago. Just we saw Rob go straight down the middle of the court again there, but that time Steve had kind of anticipated it, stepped across, quite an easy ball for him.
Yeah,
but
Nick kind of went to Steve's backhand volley there, didn't he, rather than picking out his forehand volley in front of the grill. Kind of hitting a shallower post. Interesting.
Watch out, Neil.
Not quite.
30-15.
Brave volley from Rob, right up at second gallery. Oh, it's in. That was that slipped past the timber?
Yeah, Steve thought that was going to hit Bandon.
30 all.
Nick onto the penthouse.
3 all, 30 all. Wow.
First goal of the game for Nick.
Huge point.
Stick with the long railroad. Looks like it.
Too good. Brilliant from Nick on the floor. Brilliant. Thought John had found something there with that change of pace, but Nick equal to it.
Fist pump from Nick there. He knows that's a big game. The number 3 seeds take the lead in this first set. First set of the last World Championship, semi-final at the same stage between the same two pairs, was 6-4 John and Steve. Match eventually going on to be a 5-1 victory for John and Steve. We'll see how this first set concludes here.
Oh, good flare. Good. Oh, amazing from John, finds the angle.
Brilliant bit of improvisation from Steve at the beginning. Tried to turn, ball cut back, hit it behind his back, got them into the rally.
How good was that?
Unbelievable, and then great hands from John at the end there just to sweep that one down behind Nick's back.
Been pretty impressed with the dead-on defence from everyone actually here. The main walls look pretty easy to defend. I mean, these guys are making it look easy, that's for sure. But, I mean, Nick's hardly missed a ball in that corner.
Yeah, I think any other players we're seeing a lot more flying past them into the net.
Too right, Nick. Good serve.
15-30.
Feels like a bit of a turning point this set. I mean, getting one on the board, especially a gritty set, one that's gone 3-all. No one will want to lose this one.
Yeah, obviously you tend to feel a little bit more pressure. It feels a bit more tense when you get towards the real final end of a match. But obviously, all sets are created equal when it comes to their actual value and the final result. So anyone getting a 1-love lead here, it's going to be worth its weight in gold. We've got Reverend Andrew Downs tuning in from Hampton Court Palace, enjoying the match. Thank you for the commentary and the coverage. Well, massive shout out, as I'm sure we'll do plenty of times this week, to Ben Gatenbeek and his excellent team of the Wizards, running off more than 30 camera angles this week, live streaming, recorded segments, and much, much more to come.
45, this for 4-all.
Game.
Not even sure.
Inverted row. It's the second or third time that Steve's done that so far.
It's the kind of thing you bring out.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to tie your opponent in knots with some serving when you can.
Has he got it? No. Not quite. Great ball. Interesting to see John shifting more straight grill rather than main wall timbre. See there, he shifted that by about a yard. Managed to draw the racket error. I think it was all too easy for Rob and Nick off the timbre.
Chase. Yard better than the second gallery.
15 love.
Too good. He is so good off that dead ball, Nick Howell.
15
Probably the best in the world.
all.
I'm going to put it out there. He's got that ball on a string.
Yeah, good finish there from Steve. Robs is hanging back. Left the winning gallery open.
30,
Not a lot of
50.
angle to work with, but he's curled it in beautifully.
That's out of court.
It's unfortunate because John did so well on the first
30
defense of the
all.
deadlock, managing to get it not just back but also one
yard
bounce
better than
before
second.
the back wall.
Yeah, he
making
couldn't
Rob
leave.
play
He
the-
couldn't
play
leave
the
that
full
second.
ball.
He couldn't leave that second one, could he? That was going to roll.
Oh.
What a rally! What a rally that is. Steve thought he did it with that half volley. He thought he'd beaten Nick, but Nick just amazing reactions.
Great hands. He was playing up without hazards. Hazard worse than second there for a couple of those shots, managing to still get it down onto the floor, not drifting it onto the penthouse and giving Steve and John too much to work with. And then a real cleanly struck ball at Steve at the end to draw the error.
I've kind of been watching Rob's return to serve actually. He's been really leaning on that cut volley to get shorter. I think that's been the far more difficult ball. Floor side wall here around chase 6, bringing John forward. I think that's the one that kind of rolls out on this court. Yeah, he's got that again.
40, 30 servers.
Great angle on that ball.
So it's a yard better than the second
Point, right?
gallery.
40-30.
Big point.
Sort of 50-50 chase.
Yep.
It'll be
change up.
Be gutted with that, Rob.
Rob probably expecting that cut volley to go cross court. Instead, John's fired it back down the line. Small margins. Doesn't want to drift this bobble too short.
Or long.
Or long.
Basically just get it perfect.
Goldilocks. Chance.
That's loose. Got it. Oh, I thought that was going to go over.
There's a couple of shots in there Nick might have liked to have back there. A couple off the back of the penthouse.
I think he went down the middle. I think I'd have
He
tested
did.
Steve out.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Literally the ball's not hitting the floor at the moment.
John was well up the court on the return to serve. Could have left for the hazard. Went for the main wall.
I think he thought about it.
He definitely would have thought about it.
He was kind of in between, like, oh, hit a main wall. And he did.
Don't want to leave those. Could land on the straight line and look embarrassing.
It was a big game, that. It was a big game.
I think that's definitely something that Rob and Nick have discussed.
15
on
up.
this match. They've hit a lot of balls kind of going down the middle, some more effective than others, but it's clearly something that they've thought about with the right-hand, left-handed combination. Play to both the opposed backhands. Try and put them off based on their
I
position.
mean, great ball if you can pull it off, right?
Absolutely.
It looks amazing, but obviously the risk is you kind of pull that ball long and you've given them a sitter middle of the court.
Great serve.
Steve's called him off. It's good doubles. Good composure, especially when you're 5-4 up.
15 love.
You probably want to take your chances on the percentages there. You're more likely to win from the service end. Steve could have opted for a more aggressive shot, taking the chase.
Chase! Worse than one.
Yeah, that's the one. Deep, lots of spin, time in the air.
Big ball.
Cut down. So looking promising.
Interesting. I think there's been a few little things in this match actually. I've been interested to see how few balls have actually made it past the timbre. You play at Queen's, quite easy to hit the ball main wall towards the grill and force that guy to defend. Here, a lot of balls have gone main wall into the timbre, so it's kind of lengthening the rallies a little bit, not putting that guy in the grill corner under as much pressure.
Good engagement from some viewers from around the world. We've got Dominic Chisholm enjoying the match and
15
commentary from his hotel bedroom outside in Marrakesh.
Dominic Hyam. Yeah, he's from Petworth. Charlie's.
What a place to watch some real tennis from.
Yeah. RSL.
Play John. Looks like it's been tight so far, says Charlie.
15
Absolutely
all,
has.
worse than 1 yard.
Neck and neck, but a big disparity on point serves. You can see Rob and Nick spending a lot more time down the service end than John and Steve.
Did he beat that on the floor? Just in the yard.
30-15.
Collector's item. You don't see that very often, let alone in doubles.
John probably in two minds whether to leave it or not. Just drawing the error. Steve looking for that ace again as he delivered in the first serve of the match. It's not often you see two John on forehand ground stroke errors.
Pretty
in
tough.
The same game.
Pretty tough. I think that was a good cut volley from Nick.
I thought he got
that. Steve was absolutely cane that. You probably can't
30,
kind of gauge how quick that's gone on the stream, but we heard it from our commentary position.
Oh, what a serve.
Pure wizardry that is from Steve.
That short railroad, effective.
Just when you want that ace to come. 40-30 down.
2 points from the first set.
Stayed in. Yeah, choice from Rob. Good composure that again, backing himself to kind of win the game from the service end. Sometimes definitely a better option than risking losing the point and going set point down. That's why he's been at it for so long.
Hazard 1 and 2.
And he's left the hazard.
Proper experience that. Proper experience. I mean, how many people watching would have liked to cane that at the dead on? Probably head high. Taking the gamble. Rob knowing, recognising the importance of the service end. Knows if they're going to win that 6-5 game, if they get there, it's going to probably be from the service end.
No, he's nearly got that one just to bend back over the net.
See, I'm surprised Steve didn't go short railroad again. So he's just ace Nick, is now deuce, and he's gone for his kind of reverse railroad. Granted, John got the next ball back, but I think when you serve an ace, it's kind of in your opponent's
Score is
head.
deuce. First chase is the second gallery. Chase the second gallery.
Foot fault call. Darren O'Neill. Steve's getting up close to that second gallery.
Darren's got to be on that, surely. Second gal.
Advantage receivers.
Annoyed about that one. He had a good look at it. It was quite a fat main wall from Steve.
It was an off-pace force, wasn't it? Change of pace.
Set point.
High back wood.
Went for the short boast. It could have just trickled over the net and that would have been the set, but it's not. It's caught the net tape.
Yeah, you can see what he's gone for.
Back to deuce.
Ultimately, great serve from Nick.
Chase the last gallery.
As I tap the table in appreciation. Great shot from Steve.
Pretty good outcome last gallery in a game of doubles. I'll take that.
Advantage, one chase.
And it is a second set point to John and Steve as they change ends, and they've got the last gallery chase, so that's going to limit the options.
Yeah, this is one as a service end pair, you've got to be backing yourself, right? 1 or 2 good shots, they're going to be under the pump. In the last gallery, I mean, they've got half the court to aim for. Realistically, the straight force is off the table.
All the hazards open.
Yeah, but easy game from the commentary box. It's not quite a World Championship doubles, so yeah, John and Steve hearts will be pumping.
Service advantage. Chase the last gallery.
I think he's got to. I think he's got to force Nick to kind of push one to.
And Nick can't risk stepping in and hitting it too hard, because if he misses main ball, he's going to lose the chase.
Oh, change of ball.
Steve didn't fancy that ball.
Chance. That's pretty good from Rob. What a rally.
Oh, no way. What a rally. Rob and Nick covering the hazards, sprinting all corners of the court.
I can't believe Fay's got up in front of the tambour there as well and found a kind of length. I mean, breathtaking stuff, guys.
Unbelievable. So with that first set, I will hand over to a man who knows a thing or two about commentating on stars. It's Chris Linton.
Afternoon, Rob.
Hey,
Great
mate.
first set.
Oh, quality. Very tight, very tight.
Yeah. Crowd are getting into it. Here we go, second set.
love.
John and Steve want to put their foot down here, take advantage of their lead, push on.
I just think it's going to get even more attritional.
Love there to start the second set. Second seeds in the ascendant at the minute.
Wow.
15-13.
Nick there bringing the power.
I'd like to see Nick exploiting that line more on both of their backhands. I think that's a much better shot than the main ball.
Yeah.
For him.
Plus the variety, of course. Mixing it up
40-15.
Both sides have been comfortable at the hazard end, winning more points from down there than the serve for most of the first set. Being used to this Moreton court. Stayed in.
Oh, Stevie. Wow.
Oh, just missed.
What a point that is. What a point. I have no idea how Steve's both stayed in that. That had so much spin on it.
Exactly. I have to say, I've just come from the side galleries, and you get some idea watching it live, but the speed with which the ball's picking around it and the security they're able to put on it, it's amazing.
This is the set point, I think.
Yeah, that's Rob's get there.
Yeah.
They had their chances, you know, to save it, Rob and Nick. A couple of points off the top that they could have.
It's just that last gallery, right? It's restricting the areas of the court in which you can operate, and that's probably the difference, the only thing. Say it's second gallery and you're able to actually drive it long.
Yeah.
different game.
Chase the line.
Yeah. So it's less about the part of the court and more you can't overhit. You've got to be careful.
Amazing.
So here we go. We're back in the first game of the second set, and it's 40-15. Oh, nearly hit the hazard
First
there,
game of the second set, 1 game to love.
So Rob and Nick went 4-3 up, so I think that's 4 games in a row for Lumley and Steve.
It is, and you can see that service percentage has changed there. They're now up to 55% from the service end. That's much higher than it was at that point where it changed.
Yeah, that's well spotted. That's well spotted.
Better than the second gallery. No stroke.
They're winning the serve as well.
I'm always a big advocate of service end kind of in any form of real tennis. I just think the probability is in your favour.
Setting what the stats show.
Chase, less than 5.
A judicious leave there with 1 chase already on the board, but it does put Rob and Nick, as they talk tactics, they're back down at the hazard end.
Stats.
For the first set. We can see, obviously, Lumley and Virgona winning more of the points, but serving less. So that first half of the set, they were down the hazard end and winning more points on their serve. And so I think that's the tail of that first set, that switch to dominating from the service end.
Yep, agreed. I think Stevie managed to produce a few really good short railroads. I mean, not a serve that many people will see. And hopefully some left-handers watching will try and emulate that, because it doesn't seem like it takes too much out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a long game, of course. We've got 1 of 9 sets down. Better than second on this point. 1 fault. Yeah, straight down the middle.
15 love. Chase worse than 5.
Darren will be getting stiff. We're only stood up for all that time.
Yeah, martial pose, arms behind his back in the dead on there.
He's security and referee.
Yes, that's right.
Any hooligans.
He is pretty near the sponsors.
Oh, yeah. Take that to win a chase. I mean, when any will do, a boasted winning gallery will definitely do.
First flare of the tournament. It's getting there.
Yeah. Oh, Nicky mixing up his forcing actually. We've seen him go straight. And now he's gone for a main wall. I think John had already edged across to the middle.
Yeah, it was a higher one as well, so harder to come across and cover. 30-15 at the receivers, who desperately need this game to get back into it, I think. Lost the last 4.
I mean, if Nicky finds his range, every chance.
That's good tennis.
40-15.
It was a stroke, so 40-15. There's Darren, host here at Moreton Morrell, assistant marker and maker of the balls, I guess, for this.
I think people are used to seeing Rob in that aggressive singles mode, but in doubles he's actually always the more controlled guy.
Yeah.
And you'll see Nick be the one to hit the more dynamic forcing shots.
Yeah, Nick's giving himself space to do that in the back.
First gallery.
Choice.
He knew exactly where that was going. Take the easy gallery. Back yourself to win first.
Yeah, and doubles I think any gallery will do for sure. And I think it's one of them when you're guys watching at home, if you do have that ability to take a gallery when you need it, all of a sudden the service end becomes a lot more accessible. You're there a lot more, and you're probably going to win a lot more points.
So it doesn't bother you it's first rather than last or so on?
In doubles, nah, certainly not. I think I mean, yeah, so be it. There's 2 of you. There's a guy at the front to cover that ball. Singles, yeah, for sure. There's a big difference between second and last, but I mean, good way of improving your odds in real tennis, I think.
Yeah, love to see Rob climbing the wall in that clip there. Trademark move. Okay, here we go. 40-30 the servers. First gallery to defend.
Big point.
Wins it with a hazard.
Steve, neither a main wall or a straight force that.
1 game all, 1 all.
Bit of a sitter for Nick and well put away.
Yeah. Interesting, they both stayed back despite the way that it was first. They said, okay, we're going to serve and take that out of the game.
Yeah, I think once it's on Steve's backhand, it's going to be a real grind for him to get that into the chases, into the gallery chases.
$15 love.
Rare racket error from Rob there. He looked frustrated.
Oh, it's in.
Straight to the grill. Interesting high lob that led into that point. Just I get the sense the players are trying to change it up a bit, find new ways of attacking, keep their opponents guessing.
Ooh.
Hazard first gallery.
Yeah.
15 all.
Got that, so Hazard first. They'll take that.
Last gallery, 2 chases.
The second gallery. So
bit of chat. Paul Bollerman. Afternoon, gents. Just tuning in. Excited I'm off work for the foreseeable. I assume that's because you've had a kid rather than been sacked. Paul.
yeah, about 10 days ago, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But, congratulations, Paul, and hope you enjoy the coverage.
Sammy Legg also checking in from Hobart. I mean, what time is it there? Like 2 a.m. Just go to bed, mate. Do you know what I mean?
No,
watch it when you wake up.
We like this enthusiasm. You've got to see it live. It's
you're gonna be terrible at school tomorrow, or whatever you're at.
I like the idea that out there there's an Australian kid begging to be allowed to stay up
gallery,
and watch the World Championships
Just
here
one.
at Moreton
I
Morrell.
mean, he is
Just
about
one more set, Mum. One more set.
He is about 24, so it probably won't be him. But
no, but out there somewhere.
Somewhere. Oh, the old floor boast, never good.
30-15.
Well played, Rob. Good dynamic stuff at the front of the court.
Gallery.
Yep. The thing with Rob is you never quite know what he's going to try and do with it. The variety's there. Much harder to read.
40-15.
Wow.
That's gone fast, hasn't it, this game? 40-15. The receivers with a chance to get their noses in front in the second set.
Hazard worse than the
Wow, guys at home, you're probably not going to appreciate just how fast that ball's going, just how physical that defence is from John, because he's got to obviously move his feet to get into position for all those volleys. He's done it really well. He's made it look easy, but I'm telling you now, if I've done 2 or 3 of those, I'm blowing. I'd probably hit one on the roof just to get a rest.
Yeah. That's the grill from earlier.
That's amazing stuff. Amazing
you might see
stuff.
that here. Yeah. You can see how he's moving even between points. He's up and ready. Rob's got some moves as well.
40-15 servers. Hazard chase worse than 1. Hazard.
Oh,
missed it.
Oh my god. That definitely didn't win the chase.
30-40.
Okay, big point this.
Yeah.
For a lead in the second set, having been 40-15 up. At the service end, come on.
Rob going to serve that Caterpillar again.
Face the door.
Pretty awesome stuff from Rob and Steve. You could tell Steve was kind of going to make that play for the galleries.
Yeah, and Rob was there covering it.
I don't think he was going to risk the straight force play and try and go for the point. I think he recognised that if he's going to win the game in a juice game, it's going to be from the service end again.
Early on it was boasts to the dead-on that we're winning points. Now it's become a bit more tactical, this match.
40-30 receiver.
To control the service
Chase
end.
the door.
Here we go. Still 40-30. Now in the receiver's favour. Chase the door.
bounce there. Oh, that's brutal.
Speed with which Steve came through that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
astonishing.
Would you have got up there, Chris, in front of the tambour there?
I'd have been there already.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Hiding.
You'd been further up than Nick.
Advantage.
Bit of a
Receivers.
command from Robbie Fahey.
We've
He's
had a
pumped.
few of those mid-point as well, as he's encouraged Nick to keep running. Good to hear.
Oh!
Good enough.
Nick, you'll be gutted there. I reckon he wanted gallery.
Juice.
Yeah. This is a big game. Rob and Nick have had their chances. We're back at juice.
Servers advantage.
Now, John and Steve with a chance to steal it.
Chase. Better than 4 yards.
Ball just cut down there, didn't it?
Yeah. Great ball from Rob.
Took his time on it. So chase 4 to be attacked, I guess, with an advantage point.
Yeah, it's not the worst chase in the world, is it? I think you obviously, if your game point up, so it means you have to go for it. I sometimes think that chase 2, chase 3 kind of chase is always a dangerous one when you are game point up, just because you know your opponent's going to have to go. It's not like that middle chase where it could be anything.
Yeah, you could end up in a rest.
Chase better than 4 yards.
It is John and Steve returning there. It's advantage them in this third game of the second set.
Darren still stood up.
Very good. Chance here.
Chase off. Land.
Oh,
that was close.
I think he's got that right. I think he's got that bang
I think
on.
that was spot on. Deliberately from Nick
Receives
there.
advantage.
It did look like it was going to land short, and then it pushed on. So still the receiver's advantage. Rob taking time to choose the right ball.
Game.
Oh, and that is the
2
game.
games
It's
to 1.
2-1 to John and
Receivers
Steve.
lead 2-1.
And we may look back and see that as a lost opportunity.
Big time, yeah. I mean, it's a real miss.
Has a chase. Second gallery. No stroke.
Most disappointing chase on the court, that. Pillar of Hazard second.
I think the crowd love to see winning galleries, don't they?
They do. We've had a few. Oh, and another error. They're being drawn into these aggressive shots here. Try and close the points out, and they're paying for them. 15 love, John and Steve. 1 chase pending.
Yeah, that's straight 1 mark from Neil.
Yeah. Lovely shot as well. Beautiful pace.
Great direction as well. They've still served a lot more, haven't they, Chris?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that at
No, it
all.
doesn't,
Not in the
yeah.
last few games, at least.
I think that's Tom Granville in the back. Back
Yes,
from America.
Tom's definitely here.
Wow, former Moreton Pro, many years.
Yeah, absolutely. He's allegedly on a golf trip, I hear.
40 love, 1
Party
chase.
at the weekend.
Plenty of chat in the live chat. So I think PMG234, I think that's Paul Gillam. Greetings from rugby school. That's a guess. I can't really see the YouTube photo, but on in the background while marking year 10 mocks. It's that time of year. Michael Sullivan from Aiken. Great to hear from you, Michael. Backing our man Nick. Marta Morgan. Hello from the Morgans just after school. They should be doing work. Come on. It's homework time. They can watch it after.
You can watch during. That's the nice thing. We'll tell you when the quarter points come up.
2 questions from... Also, we've got a question from Nat Cherry. Robert.
40 love servers.
We'll deal with that.
Dear Mr. Shingman. We'll come back to that question in a second.
Yeah. This is for 3-1?
Yeah, it's 40 love for 3-1 for the number 2 seats. And taken. Good short serve. That's 3-1.
3-1.
I tell you what, it felt like a turning point, that one all game.
Yeah, especially that chase off.
Oh, yeah. Really did.
Love. Mistakes coming much more often than either of them would like from Rob and Nick at the minute. Clear blue water opening up.
Well played, John. You see, watching at home, see how low John's got there to really generate that kind of momentum to hit the ball, get it past the timber, put Nick under pressure.
And keep control of it.
Yeah, his movement's always tremendous.
Second gallery, 30 love.
We commented that Rob and Nick were serving a lot. You see why. They're hitting galleries, making that choice.
Agreed.
Chase, worse than the last gallery.
2 chases. So the question was about whether we thought they should be playing shorter,
on the
given
floor.
that there are racket errors.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's a more classical court, isn't it? Rob talked about that in his pre-match interview. Because it's slightly slicker, quicker, you're going to get some reward for floor side wall. I mean, yeah, sure. I would like to see some shorter play, but on the contrary, I think the ball is flying around so fast, it's hard to have that control. And I think naturally you're going to push the ball long. It's much easier to keep the pace on in the rallies, and therefore you kind of you don't have the time to think, sure.
They're so solid with the racket that they're getting the racket in the way of the ball rather than swinging a lot of the time. So you're just getting the pace that's naturally on it.
Yeah, I just think it's hard. Given half a swing at one, I'd like to think they're going to look for floor side wall for sure.
All right, 30 love receivers, second gallery to be defended here.
Great line from John, great line.
That's out of court, that's 40 love.
40 love.
Half a yard worse.
Chase worse than the last gallery.
Yeah, Rob won't want to see that serve again.
Out of court.
Great defence, loses
Game.
the point. That is the
4
game.
games to 1, Steve's lead, 4-1.
Lumley and Virgona beginning to run away with this second set.
Wow. Choice from Steve.
Second gallery.
Nick's gone back to that railroad. I think with these new balls, they haven't quite come back enough to really put Steve under pressure on that backhand.
Yeah, they're coming cleanly off the back, aren't they?
Out of court.
Disappointed.
Just out.
I think Steve did really well off the timber there. He'd be gutted with that straight force. Just going for one shot too many, maybe.
Chase, worse than a yard, 2 chases.
So you mentioned the balls there. It's a new set for every match in this format.
No.
One set for the whole thing.
I think it's one set for the whole thing. And I think maybe for the final they choose the best kind of 50
Okay.
from the 2 sets, because it's 2 sets, one for each match. and I think for the finals, the balls aren't brand new.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I'd need to ask someone.
We'll ask Darren.
Susie Faulkner will know.
Yeah, somebody wants to let us know that. Because
but
actually, speaking of letting us know, the comments you've been reading, these are people who are commenting on YouTube, so you can
That's
say
right.
hi to us, let us know where you're watching from.
I mean, Matt Partman's commenting. He's actually stood here, so
we just saw him on the stream. In fact,
yeah.
What's he got to say for himself? Rob seems to be hunting for a serve that works. What does he need to find beyond a serve that works well? I'll let you contemplate that, and we'll talk about that at the next change of ends, perhaps. Chase, second gallery, 4-1 the servers, 15 love the receivers.
Too good.
Yeah.
Clinical from John.
15 all. Chase worse than 1 yard.
Love a hazard chase to beat a chase.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very satisfying.
Another one of those kind of plays which is underutilised in the amateur game.
Very much. Certainly mine. 15 all. Tied chase, worse than a yard. Second serve.
Oh.
Went for it.
Lost
Missed.
it. 30-15. Service lead.
Love these close-up zoom shots. It's great, isn't it?
Oh. Nothing better than a good bobble.
40-15.
Called him out.
Natural variation.
Game face on for Steve. Chance for 5-1 here.
Chase, better than the
Blasted.
last gallery.
Another good serve.
40-15.
I mean, to answer Matt's question about Rob finding a serve, so obviously he's trying to serve something that Nick is going to face in the forehand corner, and he might face as the guy on the left, or either up at the galleries. I think that I think we've just seen Steve serve a great bobble there. I really would like to see him just go back to basics and serve a few bobbles. He's serving at John, who's the right-hander, so he doesn't need to worry about anyone turning, which he would with Steve. I'd just like to see him serve his demi-ended bobble. I mean,
Slow it down a bit.
Yeah, that's what Rob would serve at Queens, and I think that Nick is more than good enough in that forehand corner to deal with John's response. So we'll see.
Yeah, they talked beforehand about maybe protecting Nick a bit.
Better
I think
than
that's
last.
what they're set up for, but trust Nick and a change. Here we go, 40-15. Better than last.
Game,
And that's
receivers
game.
5 games
5-1.
1. Second set 5-1.
Wow, Mr. Wilson limbering up from the commentary stint.
Yep.
This has been a quick set, Chris.
It has, ever since those chances that Rob and Nick had for 2-1. It's run
Yeah.
away from them. I wonder if they're slightly relaxed and letting it go once it got to 4-1.
So, yeah, could be a bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, Rob's certainly old enough and canny enough to think about the long term. Second of what could be 9 sets after all.
Chase the line.
Any chase will do. Bit of tactics. Calm down, says Steve. Keep going.
Go. 15 long.
That was nice, a nice, slightly off-pace return. Drew the error.
Buried.
And in.
30 love.
Some of that variation you were calling for. Mix of returns.
You got that?
Just got it.
Wow. Unbelievable get from John. I mean, I don't think Nick could have played that better in any way.
15,
and
30.
somehow it's popped out. I mean, the powers of retrieval are simply amazing.
Second gallery, 2 chases.
Rob will happily give up second there. Nick under tremendous pressure at the back.
But John and Steve with 2 service points needed to take the set, and it's the line and second gallery.
They've looked great this set, haven't they?
They have.
I think first set...
It was a bit scrappy, wasn't it?
Yeah, both teams kind of feeling each other out, searching for rhythm. I think John and Steve have looked class above right now. Oh, it's a great get.
If you look at them on court, they're in position.
30-15 service lead.
They look like they know what they're trying to do.
Chase the line.
And
Chase
they're
the
executing
line.
on it.
Absolutely.
Can they finish off this set?
Yeah.
Here we go.
No wall there, Steve. I think he was going to hit that into the gallery. He was kind of shaping up for the boast. There's no wall.
The rare gallery boast. So 30 all, second gallery.
Got it.
Cut volley from Rob.
Service lead 40-30. Chase a yard better than the second gallery. Yard better.
One fault. Chance for a second game in the second set for Rob and Nick.
Rob in the second.
Lost it, felt better
Leave it, yeah.
than the second gallery.
Rob knows.
That's a strong lead, isn't it?
That's a strong lead. I think he could see it all the way and was like, "There's no way that's a yard better than the second."
But on a court you're not used to, as
Yeah,
I'd be,
yeah.
you know, I find myself running around wondering which line is which, but they
Yeah.
know what they're doing. So 2-5.
15 love.
Pretty good from Stevie. Again, you need a left hand to kind of put that much pace on the ball off the timbre.
Yeah, read that very well. Timbre's playing very true, as we expect here.
Yep, definitely.
Reading it extremely well.
Follow it.
As requested.
Second gallery.
Yeah, that railroad which goes back onto the penthouse, you
15
see so many people leave it for a fault, and it's like, just volley that, because
Yeah.
it's an odd angle. You're up the court, they literally can't see what you're doing. You've got another extra 2 yards of court.
If you had that in the middle of a rest,
Yeah,
you'd hit
yeah,
it. You'd
exactly.
be excited. Yeah.
But I mean, tougher on Steve's backhand, right, to get that, get a good shot in, but fair play.
$30-15.
The fight is on here in the second set.
Oh, down the middle solves the riddle.
It's nice when your catchphrases come out.
Mate, I've played this game for a long time now. It's just the same nonsense all the time.
But I like these are the things that are normally in your head.
Oh yeah, absolutely, mate. Strokey Wokey's another one. It's a stroke. Anyway, 40-15, bit of a comeback.
2-5. They want to put pressure on here. The momentum looked to have swung
Look,
firmly to
it's doubles. You can't just blast
40-15.
through people and win games. Like, obviously, they're so close to winning that set. And they won't care what score it is, but
yeah,
it's hard to just string 4 points together. You're going to have to work hard. But I wouldn't put it past them to win this game.
yeah, they'll want to keep away from the set point, obviously. Shot.
That's great hands from Nick. amazing composure. I'm not sure Steve realised that Nick was running all the way up there, because he really could have eaten that one if Nick had volleyed it. But
it's amazing how early they're calling to each other. Yours, even when it's ricocheting and cannoning around the walls, they're reading it so quickly. 30-40.
Case, Western 4.
Wow, that one's rolled.
Shake of the head from Steve there.
Tough. I don't think he was getting that. I think that was a bit more of a Nick than the previous few.
Yeah, it stayed down, didn't it?
(40-30) servers, Western 4 yards.
That was the one he ran up to defend.
Chase 4.
Case, lost it, Western 5.
Neil called a chase there.
He did.
Got to be excited.
5.
I mean, yes, it was a chase, but they were also playing one.
But that's 3-5. Half the job done for Rob and Nick in this comeback.
I mean, they were 5-1
down.
30-15 down, weren't
They were.
So
that was the point where you talked about how well John and Steve had settled and how on top they looked.
Good commentary, eh?
Second gallery.
I mean, that's just a pure defensive wall that has
No stroke.
Yep.
Nick's got a board on the penthouse where you dissociate kind of winning shots, but where do the winners come?
And again, that's searching for the serve. Rob will have his favourite ball back.
Oh, it's hit him on the back, I think.
15 love.
Yep, point to the receivers.
Wow, John will take that.
Chase already in the bank as well.
Amazing shot.
30 love.
So, 2 sets of balls. Yeah, we've received that answer to that question.
Good, we can get to that in a second. 30 love currently. High serve.
40 love.
In, crossbar and in.
Sigh from Rob as the ball went past him.
3 set points. So here's our answer. 2 sets of balls. Set 1 were used on the first practice day, which was Monday, and then not again until the practice before the finals, which will be the Friday. So for the final,
and they'll be the final balls,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
this set is used for both semi-finals and was used for
Fine,
practice
okay.
today.
So they've all had pretty similar amounts of tennis, which is cool.
It's all part of
this will probably be Nick getting hit on the back of the head. This is it.
40 love.
Oh yeah.
Service lead.
Yeah,
takes
that's
the
a killer.
second
That's a killer.
gallery.
You can't do anything about that.
Set point. First set point for John and Steve to take a 2-love lead. This first semi-final.
Oh, it's just rolled. Just rolled, and that's the set.
That's it. Second set. Despite stern resistance from Rob and Nick, goes to John and Steve.
By 2 sets to love.
American-based pair now have a 2-love lead in this best of 9 set match with 2 more sets to come today. And joining me in the commentary box for set number 3, Benedict Gilson. What do you make of that second set?
Great second set, little bit more one-sided than the first set, it's fair to say. John and Steve getting into their groove.
Important start to this third set now.
15 love.
John and Steve were straight out of the blocks in that second set. Pulled away despite that late resistance. Can they do the same again?
Yeah, it's looking like a tough day for Nick and Rob, but I mean, they only really need one set, which is if they've got one set on the board, they've got every chance in the world of winning tomorrow, but 5 sets unanswered, which is what they would need at 4-love down. That's probably too tough an ask for any pair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's never been done. And the crowd here want more tennis, so it's interesting. There are a mix of supporters of both sides. Penny Lumley, John's mum, is a former world champion, is in the galleries. Lewis Williams barracking for Steve and John as well. Plenty of support for Rob from the home crowd.
Out of court.
Yeah, good heat from Nick there off the slightly overhit bobble from John.
all.
View of Penny and Lewis there in the side galleries. Good crowd in, plenty of standing room only, and then a full dead on. That's what we want to see on day 1 of these championships.
40-30. Hazard.
Just flick the band above the grill there, run out to be a hazard. Well, interesting to see now, I think, as Rob and Nick come down the service end, whether we see a sort of decisive change of tactics, whether they go for some different serves, whether they're going for any kind of different approach.
They haven't swapped servers, have they? So we're still the same pairings as before?
Still as was.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they could go for some different serve styles. They could play around with whether Rob and Nick alternate who's at the back. There's a few different things they could do, and generally you're more likely to start changing your approach when you're losing, when you're 2-love down.
Yeah,
whereas
Mr. Shedman was calling for more Fay bobbles and demi-PKs was his solution.
Still not seen any full PKs kind of get thrown out yet, which I always think is a slightly underrated double serve in particular, because you can just throw, especially if you're sort of losing the flow of the game, cause a bit of chaos, try and get the ball in between the two players.
Yeah, force a decision. Hazard worse than the yard here. And Rob, with a spectacular flying volley, wins that point and the first game of the third set. Much needed. 1-love to the servers, Fay and Howell.
Yeah, beautifully played. Pete Sampras jumping volley there.
Yep. They've been good at holding the service end. Need to do the other part and make use of it. He thought about going for it again though.
Yeah, I think that might have just caught the edge of the penthouse as it came down there. Rob got a little bit wrong-footed. You can see him and Nick kind of rotating in at the back of the court there.
Yeah, that's new. It was Nick pretty firmly at the back for the first 2 sets. So a slight change.
Yeah, it was indeed. It was also what they actually set out quite clearly in their interview, as they said very clearly that Rob was going to be up at the galleries and Nick was going to be at the back. I must say I didn't totally take them at face value that they were going to present their tactics for the full week in a pre-match interview.
I like the idea that the players 2 minutes before going on would have been listening to each other's interviews.
Didn't like that ball.
Very much enjoying the shots of the Moreton Morrell bar we're getting behind the dead on. Let's see that stocked and ready. Nice
15.
Slow play there, slower play. Great defence. Great rest.
Pretty awesome recovery there from John. Totally misread it, got behind him just under the grill, managed to scramble it back, gets his just
Rewarded with
rewards.
the point. 30 all.
Chase, worse than 6 yards. 30 all.
Just catching Mainmore before the back. Running behind Nick.
Second serve coming up for Fay here. 30 all with a chase pending.
As second gallery.
Interesting choice, kind of the short sidewall on the second serve, which gives Steve the option to hit the forehand, which is there. But perhaps he reckons that the forehand off the ground stroke is less potent than the forehand off the back wall.
Yeah, here's the stats for set 2, roughly equal on targets. You can see dominance in points for Lumley and Virgona. It certainly felt like that. But Fay and Howell taking the service end and serving more there. They were very good at hitting galleries. But look at that, serves 1, 64% for the second seeds. That's what made the difference.
Yeah, so I mean, absolutely the right tactic for Rob and Nick to try and be at the service end more than the others, but their issue at the moment is down in the 30s for serves 1. They've got to find a way to keep the pressure on from the service end and put the points away, which is easier said than done against the right hand, left hand combo of John and Steve, who are both so good at volleying and also shooting out the corners.
From Director Ben Gersbeek that all but one of these sides has been won by a right hand, left hand combination.
Awesome point of real tennis there. Restart by John's unbelievable volley off the force, getting it down onto the floor. Pretty great tune from Nick as well around the grill, but just a few too many options open from the service end with the hazards as an option as well.
Juice straight down the line from Rob brings us to our first juice.
I think that managed to ping up into the dead on.
It did, yes. See if we can get another view of that after this point.
Second gallery.
Galleries. Pattern of play being established now.
Sort of inverted caterpillar there from Steve.
That should have a name, surely.
Advantage.
Yeah, nice choice from Steve. Had a glance over at the drill and the timbre and just slid it down the line. Hard for Rob to get behind it.
They were expecting it to go across. Inverted caterpillar could be a dead caterpillar, of course. I think it's not the best name for a serve, I feel. Again, crucial early in the set, this passage of play. So we've got Rob and Nick a game to love up.
Receives advantage, chase the second gallery. Second gallery.
You've got to defend second to do that.
Yeah, they'll want to get into this pattern of hitting the galleries, get down the service end, and then hold.
They got drawn up the court.
One game all.
Well, we have got Rob serving at Steve actually, which we didn't have earlier on in the game.
Yeah, so they have swapped.
Which I think is it's a good choice because it's going to give a few more options to try and limit his forehand if he can get that long railroad cutting back in. As John was somewhat teeing off on that serve.
It's more than a yard worse than the last gallery. Hazard better than second, 2 chases.
I mean, they make it look very easy, but I mean, pretty much every single one of these rallies has a bit of defence or volley or retrieval that is.
I was just saying, having
frankly
been
out
in
of
the
this world.
side galleries for the first set, if you're watching at home, the ball is moving twice as fast as it looks on screen. The pace of these rests is incredible.
Yeah, the dead on count is not actually that high, but that's partly just because of the defensive skills on display, which is against almost any other pair. Either of these pairs would have racked up dozens of dead ons at this point with some of the shots
more
they've
than
been
a
playing.
yard worse than the last gallery.
If you watch the defence, even on the replays, even when they're out of position, the racket is still and held strongly, and things just come back off it with such pace. Here we go, more than a yard worse. One game. Wins it.
15 love. Hazard chase better than the second gallery. Hazard. Won it.
So you win a hazard chase.
1, 15 all.
Yeah, Robbie a little bit annoyed there because he
15.
purposely went for the galleries, just found the bando. They're definitely wanting that pattern of win points where they can at the receiving end, but then find a second or a last gallery.
30-15 the servers.
It's a little loose serve. John will have been happy to see that one drift out.
Launched. Oh, and an error.
30 all. Time.
30 all.
It's always an awkward ball, that one, off the main wall penthouse. Might bounce into the gallery, might ping off the wall, might to catch a bando.
Lofted easily into the dead on.
40,
Beautiful
30.
topspin backhand, made that look very, very easy indeed.
Yeah, all the time in the world for that. So that's 40-30 to the receivers.
Game.
And the game,
2
2-1.
games to 1, 2-1.
Nice suggestion for Steve's sort of inverted caterpillar there from Zach Edel in the chat. A pillar cat.
Yeah, I think that's the official name for it now.
Let's see if he pulls that one out again.
Great pull. 15 love. $15 all.
There's the second gallery.
Yep. Sometimes it really is about doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh, good on from Steve there, actually. Snuck pass into last, didn't catch the post.
That one
30-15
into the net. That fluency that John and Steve found in the middle of the second set just deserted them slightly in the last few games. Rob beaten by the time below, 30 all.
30 all.
I think it's a little bit more of a change up, a few more targeted galleries, but then keeping the heat going every now and again as well. It just means there's a little more unpredictability for John and Steve to deal with. Great put away from Steve, but again it's actually set up by another main Motan with a John's foul from cross court, which is so awkward for a single-handed right-hand backhand to deal with. You see Rob doing very well to get it back, but he's kind of having to flick it from behind
and reading
him.
it at this speed as well, because it's that you've got, unless you call it, you've got to react to that change.
Exactly, and a centimetre either way, and suddenly the ball's going, either it's missing timbre or it's coming out flush, and Rob's got to dive forward to catch it, so it's so hard to react. Is where both Steve and John have a quite big advantage on that ball, because either Steve's hitting a forehand with his left hand, or John's got that double-handed backhand, he can just pile straight back into the
last
main
gallery.
Yep.
Game.
Yeah, nice shot from Steve. Comes in from middle, makes it a bit awkward, gets behind Rob. So we are at parity in the third set here.
Crucial 5th game. Usually say crucial 7th, but I think this is important.
Quite like that serve from Nick from out wide. It's kind of underarm twist action, dropping down, runs down the penthouse.
Yeah, seems to pick up a bit off the penthouse. What's the ball in play?
Chase, less than 6 yards.
Yeah, it's just catching the wall, which means it runs down with a couple of bounces, makes it not the easiest to cut volley. If it was one bouncer, it'd be quite straightforward, but if it's taking 1.5, 2.5 bounces.
Better than 2.
Good choice from Steve.
We saw that kind of shot very early on in the first set, the sort of flash to the corners. That was beautiful.
Love, receivers lead. The first chase is worse than 6 yards.
Yeah, beautiful put away from Steve. Doesn't leave the hazard, gets a much better chase instead. A little hint of fortune there from Steve. Did not catch the strings on that one. And Rob's backhand down the line just left the hazards wide open. Good little put away from John.
You say fortune, I say reward for effort.
It was a good leap. It was a good leap. Better than 2 now.
Lost the chase.
Yeah, John actually copying Nick there with the serve, trying to avoid too good a cut volley. Nick did pretty well actually to get that one on target on the dead on, keep the pressure on for a few more more shots at the point. But
it's 30-15 now.
Face the ball.
Into the door. First chase achieved. Great rest.
Lovely little shot there from Steve, lifted over Rob into the grill. I really like John's approach to serving actually in that game. He had quite a bit of variation going at Nick. I think Nick's such a good aggressive player of the return of serve, especially when he gets into a rhythm, when he sees the same railroad again and again, however good it is. He gets into a rhythm of hitting main walls, hitting cut volleys, whereas John in that game has hit a angled railroad, a bit loopier from an angle. He's hit cut sidewalls, he's varied up where he's serving from, and I think that's just kept Nick from getting into too good of a rhythm. So I think it's quite a nice approach.
Yeah. And they're backing themselves to deal with whatever comes
40-15 receivers.
Because what you sacrifice by that is the predictability of the return.
Yeah. But yeah, when you've got exactly the speed in the hands of John and Steve, they can sweep a lot up, especially if it's not perfect, which is all you're really aiming for when you're serving someone like Nick. Oh, what a return there from Rob.
And almost a copycat from Steve further up, the second hit.
Indeed.
Brought them to 30-40 in what I'm definitely calling the crucial 5th game. Trademark.
Yeah, that one just came off the main wall a bit quicker and a bit sharper than Rob I think was expecting. Adjust his body. Somehow managed to get it back over.
That's game 3-2 to John and Steve from the Hazard end, who are 3-2 up in the set and 2 sets to love up in this first semi-final. Now.
15 love. First gallery. 15 love.
They've seen that shot against them several times today, choosing to take first gallery. Get the serve.
15 all.
Just came a little bit slower. I think that Rob was actually expecting, sort of rose up to tackle it down.
Yeah.
Just dropped a little bit early. Oh, Nick can't believe it. He's played half a dozen unbelievable shots. He doesn't really know what else he had to do there to try and win the point. He was pile driving balls both corners of the court, but unbelievable absorption of the aggressive
from
attack.
Almost any angle as well. Hopefully we can see that again. This was astonishing as a point. Just the previous one, I think.
40-15 servers lead. Chase the first gallery.
I think Rob lasered that ball at the timbre. John picked it up on the other side of the court, and then here we see Nick just drives ball after ball.
3. And more to come, but 40-15, first gallery, second serve here.
A lot of options from both sides of the court on a first gallery chase.
Scramble back.
Hazards. Surprised John didn't go hazards there.
Yeah.
Wasn't the widest angle, but Robert stayed back. Still one more point for 4-2.
Juice. And juice. Could this be another turning point?
Significant sixth game here.
We need to label all of them, you know. Look at the net. Kills it.
Advantage. Servers.
Third go at winning this game. Steve working hard there and giving Hamilton the game to go 4-2 up. And if that was a significant set game, this really is the crucial seventh. There's a world of difference between 3-4 and 5-2. But it's John and Steve with the advantage and the serve.
Love. Hazard Western second gallery, 15 love. All.
More variation from John on the serve here, mixing it up. Patience paid off there.
Yeah, Rob going for the backhand down the line, higher part of the net than the cross court. Makes it a bit trickier.
Yeah, Hazard.
Yeah, John finding mileage there, just keep getting the ball back, keep putting them under pressure. Oh,
there you
great
go.
Gallery.
Same shot, went cross court instead of down the line, finds the gallery. It's not a super obvious difference between courts, but I think one thing that does genuinely make a bit of a difference, especially in a game like this where it's pinging around, is the ball that hits the penthouse above the grill. Because there's some courts where that ball will often fly out of play. It's a bit bouncier, it kind of loops up.
Yeah.
Someone like Preston, it often you see that ball hit above the penthouse and just fly out of play. Whereas here, it's staying in play almost every time.
Yeah, and even coming forward actually a lot of the time.
Even coming forward, and it doesn't make for. It's obviously not a great shot when you hit the penthouse, but it is not the easiest ball to then put away in the world. Because if you're a right-hander, you're hitting a backhand. If you're a left-hander, you might get trapped near to the wall. It's quite hard to hit it off there. You might have to hit it both. So it's
so the cost of aggression is lower.
Cost of aggression is lower if you can keep it kind of narrow into that corner. Whereas if you hit the main wall and it comes out to the middle of the court, that's where it's a lot easier to then put a ball away. So it's why sometimes going straight at the grill can have a lower cost risk.
The hazard chase here. So that was 15-30
Not up.
Nice put away there from Nick.
It was almost a late change there to 30 all on that side, 30 all.
It was sort of wandered back with his back to the other side of the court, which made it quite hard to read for John. It's a bit loose. That's exactly the one there.
40,
as I was just saying, as it loops up and gets a little bit awkward on Steve. He'll have wished that one flew out of court.
Big point here.
Game.
Samba and the game.
Time, please.
Back to 3-4. Fay and Howell. That was incredibly important. Brings them back into this third set. They were 4-3 up, of course, in the first set. Went on to lose that one 6-4. So set a bit more one-sided.
3-4, no stroke.
So for an excellent 8th game here.
Oh, that's so frustrating for Nicky there. Beautiful control on the backhand volley from Rob, getting it back straight back down the line, and then
looped overhead.
Just looped over Nick's head. Little bit of luck. That did get us into Strickle there did get us into double figures for the dead on count for Steve and John as we enter the latter end of this third set.
You love. An out, so 40 love.
Yeah, great serve, bit slower, bit more cut.
They've been good at the crucial points, haven't they, Steve and John?
15-30, I think it is.
Sorry, 15-30, thank you. Chase.
Western 4 to
yeah, that's what Mr. Shankman was talking about earlier. It just dies a little bit when you can hit that wall around chase 5, chase 6, a little bit slower off the floor. That one there just dropping a bit short of both Rob and Nick's reach. Western 4's a good chase in doubles.
30 all.
Rob and Nick will be desperate for this point because
yeah.
40-30 with a Western 4 chase is a tough ask.
40-30 up and a chance to attack it. We'll enjoy that. What can they do?
Oh, what a rally.
Gallery,
Rob nearly sends his racket flying. He's frustrated. Got into a great exchange with Steve. Earned the opportunity. Steve was the first to put it on the penthouse. But then they managed to claw it back. Great aggression from John at the end there.
Yeah, being up in front and really put his body on the line to defend that. He's got the reward.
Here we see this one that I think is going to loop over Nick's head in a second.
There it goes.
There it is.
It's straight in.
So frustrating.
40-30, serves lead, chase worse than 4 yards.
Hello to Jake Erskine, who's messaging us from the World Trade Centre on the 64th floor. If you're higher up than that, then please let us know, otherwise I think that's a prize. Crucial point here, 40-30.
Aggressive cut volley. What does Nick do?
And that's lost the chase and the game. 5-3. Momentum squashed.
5-3.
Big game that.
Yeah. After that game to come back to 3-4.
Time for the nervy ninth. Ooh.
15 love.
A little bit awkward on Steve there. Actually kind of came across him a bit more than he expected. Sort of had to almost flick it towards the timbre. But Rob misread it as well.
Just off the left.
15 all.
Yeah.
That's
the point.
That's 2 in a row actually that have kind of awkwardly gone into
it looked like
play.
legs from here.
Steve questioning that.
Yeah, I think Steve thought it took second gallery post, but they have called stroke.
Correctly, I think.
Neil is always right.
30-15.
And the tennis gods punish Steve by awarding the point to his opponents. Never query them.
35.
Even politely. 30-15.
Second gallery.
Is in the gallery.
Interesting choice from John there. You could hear him call out that he wanted to take that ball, but I think
then was out of position for
Nick had put so much kind of side spin on it rather than cut that it came really into John's body, whereas Steve would have perhaps had a little bit more space to swing. Small margins.
Second gallery twice.
And second gallery again.
Thought that one was going to drift into the grill for a second, but it's 2 second galleries.
So, on one hand, John and Steve 2 points away from this third set. On the other hand, the new servers, Rob and Nick, have a chance to nick this game, bring it back to 4-5.
Slightly awkward ball nicking timbre into Rob. I think this one's going to...
Brilliant question from Jed Parsons. Always good to hear from you, Jed. He says, what is power? Is it strength or using understanding to liberate?
30,
when players
15,
use their
serves
minds,
lead.
that it's interesting.
Chase the second
That's the
gallery.
interest of this game.
I think that's a haiku, in fact.
It's very profound. It's the level of comment we require. 30-15. Nick up for a second serve. And in the net. 40-15.
Haven't had a huge number of unforced errors today, it's fair to say, which is no surprise given the calibre of the 4 players on court, but I think John would quite like to have that one back. It's quite a short serve.
Well, same point, second gallery for the second go. Different serve. Attacked.
Again, Rob a little frustrated because he did such a good job on the first ball. John had a chance to wind up off the weak serve, and Rob did so well to get it back. He'll be annoyed that he...
There have been a few where Rob's missed the second of 2 fast shots there. It's beginning to be a pattern. Court static.
Often the easier one as well, which is always frustrating as a player. That's a great serve.
Out of court.
And out of court to bring up Juice.
Juice.
Fighting hard in this third set.
Couple of slightly awkward reads there. I mean, we've said the players haven't had that much time on this court before. Rob kind of misreading one bouncing off the penthouse. Steve there just slightly misjudging how close that was to the timbre.
And we're also 2 hours into nearly 2 hours into this match.
Chase.
We are
Yard
indeed.
words from the last gallery. Advance.
I mean, I think this serve that Nick's kind of found from wide with the spin bouncing down the penthouse, taking 2, 3 bounces, is possibly the one that's looked the most effective at sort of tying up Steve John down the receiving end.
Natural variation in it as well, so they're not able to get into the rhythm that you were talking about earlier.
Natural variation is easy for him to put it a bit deeper, a bit shallower. That makes it harder for John to find a line on the main wall. And you know, it's not like he's going to get a lot of bases out of it, but he's going to get just marginally worse returns.
Yeah.
Hopefully, not have the aggression on that main wall from John.
Okay, so advantage receivers attacking a yard worse than last.
Yeah, good choice from Steve. Saw that Nick's gone up because he's got to cover those hazards. So if he can ping the timbre, it's going to make it very hard for Rob to try and cover it as a single player at the back of the court.
Second juice.
2 points from the set.
Stroke called.
Advantage. Receivers.
Good card volley there.
Back in the hazard court.
Rob and Nick pulled up that service points 1% from the last set significantly.
Yeah. Be good to see that at the end of the set.
Juice.
See how that's changed.
Time, please.
It does feel like that's been the difference between this set and the last one.
I think Nick thought that one was going to drift and miss the penthouse.
Yeah.
Slightly off pace cut volley.
Slammed.
That's out of court.
And I think we've seen his frustration taken out on that subsequent ball, and it does bring up a set point for 3 sets to love for the second seeds.
It's out of court.
First one saved.
Can't take advantage. Fourth juice. What did you call it? The nervy ninth?
Nervy ninth. Yeah, Nick will be happy with that because he's gone for a pile driver at the dead on earlier in the
straight down the
points
middle.
ago and went high, but that one like a bullet towards the dead on.
Third or fourth game point for Rob and Nick.
Great serve from John there, just catching the edge of the penthouse again. Nick lets out a whale of frustration off that one off the timbre. Just too low.
Fifth deuce. Nervous faces in the dead on. A few on court too.
That's a big chance.
Second gallery.
Yeah, it's a good choice, I think, from Nick.
It's a good choice. Almost an anticlimax after that rest, but always love to see that good tennis. They'll take the serve shortly. Still on deuce, though. Lumley and Howell.
Last gallery, two chases.
Dismissed into last.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to find a winner on this court when you've got Steve and John sort of picking up every volley, every ball in the corner. But I think last gallery, and it's a significant difference from second because it means that there's very few options for Steve and John from the other end. They've got to just keep finding a length or going for the dead on. Whereas on both of these chases, Nick and Rob are going to have the hazards wide open.
Yep.
So I think they're going to try
and with second, you've got the freedom to hit out a bit.
You can hit out, you can drive a force. But I mean, so often if you drive a force, like cross court, for example, it'll so often land kind of worse than last.
Yep.
Which means if you're on second, that's obviously a great shot. Whereas if you're on last, it's a risk. So last versus second is a really significant difference.
Gallery, second
so
gallery.
This has become the longest set of the match in time, not yet in games. We're at deuce. Second gallery, the chase.
Rob's going to want this on his forehand towards the hazards.
Almost vibrating with it.
I think John will try and boast this back towards Rob to close out the hazard angle.
Out of court.
Well, a boast, but
such a good serve.
Yeah,
such a good serve on that ball. Gave John no option but to try and boast it back into the wall.
Another chance here for 4-5.
What time to find the bobble? Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that he might be. Is he going to go for that or is he going to go for the twist?
Flatter serve, first game. Played into John's forehand there.
Yeah, Nick got the ball he was waiting for. He got the one from Steve that he could aim at the hazards, but it was a little bit tame, and John had snuck right up there.
That's the second or third in the last couple of games where John's been up there to defend that. He's done very well. So we're back to deuce, the sixth deuce of this game. Robin's top of the net.
Advantage, receivers.
Big breath. Brings up a second set point for Lumley and Virgona. And
it's a carbon copy of the previous point. John will have had that in his mind as he saw that serve come in. He sent it towards Rob, who's put two in a row into the top of the net. He'll be frustrated with that. It's a huge set. 3 sets to love. The number 2 seeds have been unanswered today.
Both cases, it seemed to be a change of pace that Rob was set up for the hard hit force, and it was just slightly softer.
Change of angle as well, coming off that kind of boast off the inside wall will have just slightly meant for a different volley to what he's been used to today. A little bit of a longer break between sets as the players regroup.
We'll remind you as we make that change that this is the first of 2 matches today. We have Camden, Riviere and Tim Chisholm playing Bryn and Ben Taylor-Matthews this evening, starting at 6:30, coverage at 5:45. With that, I'll hand you over for the fourth and final set of this match for today to co-commentator Rob Shankman.
That felt like the best tennis in the match, didn't it?
I think so. I think you really saw Rob and Steve coming back. Rob and Nick coming back at John and Steve there. but not quite enough to clinch the set. Darren calling a fault from the dead on there. So already kind of getting a change up here with Rob looking at some high serves. We'll see if he continues with that through the set. Good hands from John. So what do you think we're going to see, if anything, Rob, that's going to be different here? Is there anything that Nick and Rob can do differently in this fourth set to try and get over the line?
I'd like to see Rob make a few less unforced
15-30.
That's probably the difference towards the end of that set. He produced some brilliant volleys at the net, but just a few too many errors on the volley. Just a few too many. So make him Rob far away.
Yeah, interesting, it was often on those second balls, it was that slightly slower second ball that he'd make the error on, or at the end there we saw a bit of a change up from John, those slower boasted balls on the return of serve, just slightly putting Rob off, small margins.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster for Steve as well. He's produced some absolute magic, but also missed a few as well. But it's great to see all the players reading the court really well now, retrieving brilliantly. I mean, I think it's been a good spectacle, to be fair.
I think we're also seeing Rob find a potentially very effective serve here. He's put a couple flush against that wall. Making it awkward for John, but there's still the game point down.
Game.
Receivers.
First game of the fourth set, 1-love.
Supporting John. So that's 1-love, John and Steve. Now a 4-love lead would be a bit big, wouldn't it, Ben?
4-love's lead is a bit big. I think from 3-1 that's the score that Rob and Nick could win from, but 4-love.
Errors are creeping in now.
15-love.
I mean, yeah, the match times can be racking up now.
Yeah, we're well over 2 hours of game time, and yeah, it's probably past the 2.5 hour mark, including the warm-up. So it's a lot of time on court for the players. So probably natural to see a few more errors creep in.
My God, I'd be thinking about post-match interviews. God, getting nervous now. That's in. That's great. I've seen a few of those dip in.
There's been a few dips in. We had a couple off the penthouse. We've had one loop over.
I wonder why that is. Oh, it's insane rally. Insane.
Great hands from John.
You've got to love those kind of gallery exchanges when the guys are up the court.
Wii tennis back and forth.
Yeah.
There you go, that leave there. Just looping over both Nick and Rob, very frustrating.
I think the level here has been super impressive, to be honest. I mean, I think if, and I'm saying if because it might not happen, if Rob and Nick are 4-love down after day one, I mean, they've played their part.
It's an outrageous level of tennis to produce and not win a set. That's
you look at how many points have actually been played in that set, some long juice games towards the end. It's a game of margins.
Second gallery, Hazard.
Oh. Oh.
Wow. What a point. Two bandos on both directions.
I thought Nick had won it, but obviously Bando and Steve was right there.
Neil ducking out the way.
Good Steve, good composure there. Brilliant left-hand railroad, turning.
2 games to love.
Yeah, he just found the length on that short one that he set out to start the match with.
Wow. Insane rally. That's smashed a water bottle. Rob picking out Steve's protein shake.
Thinking Evian's taking a hit there.
Heavy hit as well. I really made a thud.
Takes the first gallery, no stroke.
Great rally there. Fantastic point.
Out of court.
That's too good.
15 love.
It's kind of a trademark volley main wall force, not to be repeated at home. Pretty difficult shot.
All.
Oh, he's found it, he's found it.
Big fist pump there. See, he was happy with that one.
15.
Some ropey choice. Not ropey, but not enough wall there kind of to get that boast over the net, I think.
First gap.
I think Steve probably would have wanted to hit that into the last gallery if there was wall there. Oh, he's done it again, hasn't he?
Worse than
Got that one back.
It's not a bad option actually, doubles, if you are able to find that width there, because obviously the gallery guy is moving up, hard to hit a volley on the move, and also, yeah, if you can get it close to the side wall, even more difficult volley. So the only difficulty is, right, if you put it straight on the racket. Yeah, Steve is looking pretty dynamic out there.
Yes, covering all corners of that court. There are obviously some doubles pairings, you'll see the back player go and cover that corner, but Steve loving moving up and down there. Get on his left hand forehand, pile it towards the timbre and the grill, rather than John's backhand.
Yeah.
30 all. Chase the first gallery.
That's the one, just dug out, dropping into the grill.
Love it. Sand wedge.
Again, both Rob and Nick have had a few errors on the volley off that, both back into the wall, which you'd normally think is a slightly weaker return, but the change of angle, the change of pace, doing for them both a bit.
Time.
Called fault by Darren, I believe.
So Neil was called a fault there, I think, claiming it's hit the edge. Darren overruled him as ref. Wow, brilliant from Nick. Shredding that one down the middle.
Saw that effectively used in the first set from Rob and Nick, just finding those balls in between the players. Good choice there.
Oh, it's amazing if you can pull it off.
Panenka. Ooh, it's a slightly casual forehand from Nick, perhaps in two minds as to whether to leave that one to Rob to sweep up.
This for 3 sets to love. An imposing scoreline.
Chase. Western 4. Advantage.
Nick having a bit of a long, hard look at the main wall there. But what he does do very well, I think, which I don't see so many other players do, is he manages to get his wrist round to get the main wall volley back cross court kind of towards the winning gallery?
I think everyone's main wall defence is different. Like, I've always kind of boasted it back in, just felt a bit more natural. Nick's able to take that ball a bit later on his right foot, which is obviously the better shot because then you can get it back cross court and then also push down the line.
Advancing servers.
You'll see Rob
Chase
kind of
worse
burst it
than
back in,
4
try and burst it
yards.
back in, but I mean every player's different. Yeah, Nicky's main wall defence though, yeah, is one of the better ones. Worse than 4 then, to defend. Oh wow. Lost it. Oh, that's pretty good effort from Rob. Pretty good effort. I mean, Bando coming back round behind the back.
3-love service lead.
He's had a couple of flare shots today.
3-0.
Yeah, another great find on that short railroad from Steve. Nick's racket's gone flying.
That could be a little warning.
Just slipped out his hand, I think.
Agreed. One gallery.
30 loves.
Really good serve again. Steve just getting that kind of
What's
bouncing
interesting
up
is
off the
he
edge.
kind of hasn't served it like 3 times in a row. He's kind of served 2 good ones and then changed. Interesting variation.
Boomerang.
Well played, John.
Yeah, that's well played from John. I think Nick looking a little bit dead on his feet out there as he went to retrieve that one. End of a long 4 sets.
4 games to love.
And it is the number 2 seeds that are drifting towards taking this 4 set here. It is 4 games to love.
I think in doubles you think the players aren't doing as much running, but it's actually kind of the muscular strain, if anything. Volley after volley, getting in position again and again, hitting an accurate shot.
15
because you don't
love.
quite have the court to play with you doing singles, so you can afford to be a little bit looser. In doubles, yeah, it really hurts you if you're inaccurate. Ooh, strokey.
Yeah, I'm sure you hit more drive volleys, more forces in your average doubles match than you would in a singles match.
Yeah.
Even though you're hitting fewer balls, you're probably hitting more of the aggressive
physical,
balls.
right? That's physical.
Exactly. Takes a toll.
Chase.
That's a great pace of
3
force
and
from
4.
Rob there. Take 3 and 4.
15 all.
Pretty good.
What a
Pretty
put away,
good, Stevie. Wow, that has gone so quick.
15. Second gallery, 2 chasing.
Yeah, Steve, when he gets that side penthouse shot going, it's really fearsome, like a terrifying shot that obviously only kind of left-handers can do. He really does cane that ball.
(30-15) receivers lead. Chase 3 and 4. (30 all). Chase the second gallery. Out of court.
Well, I think Rob were really happy to have kind of found this serve, because even though they didn't win the first game of the set when he was using it, it looked like it was putting John under a lot of pressure, doing the same again now. So I feel like that's going to be something he's going to perhaps use a bit more from the beginning tomorrow.
Wow.
Jake's nearly a yard worse. In the last
That's
gallery.
annoying for Rob.
40-30.
Edge of the winning gallery there. He has a wry smile on his face. Great looking serve there from him there. You see getting it right up against the wall. John slightly off balance. Can't do much more than scrape it back.
.40-30 servers. Chase nearly a yard worse than the last gallery.
Here we go. Point for 5-love.
Is that losing the chase?
Lost it.
That is it.
Yes.
Fell a yard better than second.
5 games.
1 game to go for a 4-love lead on day 1 here at the World Doubles Championship.
Yeah. I agree with you what you said about Rob's high serve. I'm surprised more people haven't served high today, for sure. I think the pattern suits it. Great point. Too tight for
15 love.
Just looking absolutely rock solid. Not going to miss a ball. Keep driving it at that main wall timbre.
Second gallery. 15 love.
Such a weapon, isn't it? That kind of loose ball onto the penthouse, which often right-handers can have a slight bit of difficulty putting away, whereas Steve just got such a great left-handed arcing volley. Okay, Nick finds his range on his main wall forward.
15-30. Second gallery.
I want to take it one game at a time, get on the board, try and claw back this 4th set.
Chase the line, 2 chases.
That one hitting Bando and just flying into the net.
Flying
Chase
out,
the line.
Steve and John inching closer.
Yard by yard. You see there that great put away from Steve, just so much pace on that ball off the penthouse on his forehand volley.
Open our eyes, doing a job here for some post-match interview questions.
30-15 receivers. Chase the second gallery.
30-15, 2 points away. 2 beatable chases. Oh, it's in.
Oh.
Stevie inside out, more spin, holding up off the main wall, finds the corner of the dead on. 2 set points for a 4-love lead. Chase the line. Oh, Dick, you'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think Nick would have been happy to see that drift out.
Railroad second
Second
serve.
serve, Railroad on chase the line.
Do it. Oh God, that's tricky. He's done it. 4 games to love. Steve Virgona and John Lumley will take a 4-love lead into tomorrow's second day of the match. Obviously a best of 9 set match. 1 more set for them for victory. A mountain to climb.
It was 3 sets to 1 at the same stage in the last World Championships in the matchup between these two. So Steve and John will be thrilled to go 1 better, taking a very, very commanding lead into day 2. So interesting battles there. Some very close fought sets. You see just running away by the end of that with a 21-minute 4th set. But the first 3 sets of the day taking 2 hours. Some really good matchup there between the 4 players on both sides of the court. We'll be going on court shortly to hear some thoughts from the players. Mr. Schenkman's going to hop on with his mic and some thoughtful questions so we can hear what the players thought of that semi-final here at Moreton Morrell. So still to come today, we have Ben Taylor-Matthews and Bryn Sayers, the Brits, taking on the reigning world champions. But first of all, it's all about those two. It's all about John Lumley and Steve Virgona. What a performance. 4 sets to love. Chris Lintort's back with me. Chris, what did you think of that 4th set there and the match so far overall?
Well, I think John and Steve just hit the points where they needed to. You know, they got that in all 3 of the first 3 sets. There were chances for Rob and Nick to put pressure on and come back, and John and Steve stepped up. And then that 4th set was the reward for that, really. I think it was more or less done and dusted from the beginning. Some awesome hitting from Steve, in particular, when he had the chance to kill the ball, take his time on it, and absolutely walloping it. I thought we were going to get a classic Rob Fahey comeback, but not today. We'll save that for tomorrow.
Not yet, we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, absolutely. Steve's left-handed volley just firing towards the tambourine girl, really paying dividends, especially in those last couple of sets there. Just a few more unforced errors from Nick and Rob than they might have liked to see.
We've got Rob Schenkman on court now with the number 2 seeds, with John and his partner, Steve. And we'll hear from them in a second. 4-love after this first day. We're working to bring you sound.
Have a little break. You were very quiet. Right, okay.
Hey, we're not getting sound from the court.
Well, join us again tomorrow. That's all there today, so stay tuned, guys.
Well, that's the end of our first semi-final, day 1 here at Moreton Morrell, sponsored by Prangle. Coming up in, we'll be back on air in about an hour, bringing you a preview of the second semi-final. The reigning champions take to the court, Chisholm and Camden Riviere, playing the sure to be well-supported Bryn Sayers and Ben Taylor-Matthews. We will see you very shortly.
How do you think you played?
Steve wants to take it first. Are you going to hold it the whole time? Yeah, I did want to like split the mic.
Really? Tomorrow we won't get one coming tomorrow as well. Yeah. Saturday. Come back.